Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pride of Detroit POD bye-week edition. 1 second. We are on bye week, so we are cracking cold ones. We are having fun here with our mustaches as we are now on day 8 of our Movember charity drive. We'll check in on them in a second, but first let's introduce everyone. And we are going to be getting very quickly to the Lions coverage as well as the Lions deal with the bye week here. But first, I'm Chris Perfett, your adequate host at Chris Perfett on Twitter, the man who runs the Pride of Detroit PODcast and gets everything together and snapped together like Lego bricks. Jeremy Reisman, the fearless leader at Detroit on Lion. Hello, Jeremy.
Hi, Chris. Nice and rested as much as I can be during a football season.
You didn't watch any football, did you?
I cheated a little bit. I didn't watch a ton, and I was kind of excited to watch Matthew Stafford in primetime last night, and then I turned it off after the first half.
That didn't work out. That didn't work out at all. Oh, no. Ryan Matthews at Ryan_POD. Actually, my current template, because we've been doing a different recorder, doesn't have the Rock God drops. So Ryan Matthews, the Rock God at Ryan_POD.
Can I just drop it? Can I just pull?
We have a new Limp Bizkit album out. So yeah, sure. Go ahead. Maybe I should just
Rock God.
But to say we've got to update it now. Now with the new album out, it should be Ryan Matthews dad vibes.
Yeah. Well, I don't even. Hello. Welcome to the PODcast. I will say that by far and large, this past weekend was the worst weekend I had sports gambling as a
you got killed
gambler.
Yeah.
Vegas had to have made an absolute killing.
How many people do you think they took to the ringer on that Bills Jaguars game?
Not including me, or what?
Just a killing.
I imagine all those people who are like, hey, you get $50 credit on DraftKings, and we're gonna give you Bills plus, I don't know.
All you need is Josh Allen to score one touchdown, and we'll give you $1 billion.
You talking about the other Josh Allen, maybe? Real quick, let's get close in. If you're live watching us on twitch.tv/Pride of Detroit, where we record the PODcast live, that's right. We're not one of those dingy podcasts where like, wait, stop, do over. I want to do it over. No, we do it live. But we're going to get close in on our mustaches. This is day 8 of Movember. And we are still in the first half of our month. We're still raising money for Prostate Cancer Foundation. And look at this. Let's take out Jeremy. Jeremy was the big winner last year, but he's off to a slow start right now. He's going to have to work really hard to get up to 2020 levels of insane mustache.
I think
myself.
Am I doing better than Ryan? I feel like I'm doing a little bit better.
You're doing better than Ryan. You're doing better than Ryan.
When was the last time you shaved? Be honest.
The 31st.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. And
I'm following the rules.
Mine is kind of gone a little wild. It's itchy. I hate it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I used to have a
prime itchy phase right now, and I don't like it.
This is the people. We're living in a very heavy facial hair era, but I think people forget it sucks growing facial hair for the first time. I think people have asked me to like cut this thing before, and I tell them like, once I cut this, it's not coming back. I'm talking about my goatee. Like this thing, like I'm not going through that itchy phase again.
But the whole reason we're doing this, by the way, raising money for 2 awesome charities, the Prostate Cancer Foundation. We are raising money through the 15th. Then after that, RAIN, which is one of the biggest anti-sexual violence organizations in America. That will start on the 16th. Right now, as of recording this, we are just over the $2,200 mark, which means we're less than $300 away from the Wheel of Pain first spin of the charity drive, which if you're listening to the podcast, you don't get to see. But if you're watching us live here on Twitch, you will get to see. If it happens today, later this week, we'll see.
We also have people starting to redeem donation rewards to mute hosts for 1 minute. And if that happens, that can happen during a podcast. That will be reflected in the podcast proceedings, in the podcast recordings. So be ready for that. At some point, you might about to get the most incisive thought on the Lions from Jeremy that you could possibly imagine, the hottest inside scoop, and it will be muted by some asshole.
Some generous asshole, by the way.
Very generous asshole. An incredibly generous asshole. That's only $80, by the way.
Yeah.
You're not even that generous.
That's worth it, depending on who you choose to mute.
It's always worth it for me. Anyway, Lions time. Do we really this is the moment I've been dreading, to actually have to talk about the Lions again.
Chris, we got 2 more months of this, my friend.
I know. We are now officially in the second half of the month.
Yeah.
We have a very even 18 weeks. It means right now, Monday, the second half begins, baby. And it happens with the Lions looking around and ask themselves if they want help. The big news from the weekend, Odell Beckham Jr., last week, Odell Beckham Jr. being released by the Cleveland Browns. He went through waiver wire. He's been going through waiver wires. I think now on Monday he has cleared. Is that right,
nope,
Jeremy?
Nope.
No.
It's officially processed today. Waiver claims must be in by noon on Tuesday, and we'll know by 4 p.m. if anyone has been awarded him.
But
maybe before that.
It does not seem like Dan Campbell is interested. He was out in front of the media today, and he said that he's not really on the radar. He's not really on the radar for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, no, I mean, he straight up said no when asked if they were interested in, and that was literally his only. It was a one-word answer, and then another reporter kind of asked why, and basically said like, listen, when there's a player available, we are going to consider everybody as long as the situation is right. But me and Brad were on the same page here. No, not going to happen. And I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, and I think it'll ruffle less feathers when Tuesday comes and no one has claimed him, because that's what everyone thinks is going to happen. And the reasons for that are simple. He's very costly. He's over $7.5 million, I think, is the salary that's still due for whatever team gets him. The Browns also restructured his contract in that there's no more two more remaining years after this year. It's just this year. You're getting a 9-game rental on Odell Beckham Jr. And he is, in the Lions case, he has specifically said that he only wants to play for a contender. So he comes here. He costs too much money. The Lions don't even have that much cap space and doesn't want to play here. You can't turn it. You can't trade him next offseason because the Browns basically made it so that teams like the Lions won't claim him. And that's by design, right? They're helping out Odell in a way that also benefits them because they get some financial kickback. And so the Odell Beckham situation was pretty much dead from the beginning for the Lions, even though they have the number one priority in the waiver list. But now it is made extremely dead, not only by the Browns basically adjusting his contract, making him unclaimable, but the Lions straight up went out and said, we're not going to claim him. So OBJ dreams dead. Are you okay with that, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. But first, I want to discuss real quick, why haven't we, and I saw this on your Twitter feed, why haven't we made it a thing where teams can trade their spot in the waiver wire for draft picks?
Right.
Like that should have been instituted like yesterday. Because maybe that would help deter like some of the stuff happening, like where the Browns can, do this kind of a move to deter teams like the Lions from, being interested in using their waiver claim to grab him. But I just don't think the Odell thing makes a lot of sense from, all the reasons that you listed, Jeremy. And I think people who see Odell and they say, well, that guy is going to be an immediate improvement on the wide receiver room. I don't think anybody would argue that in terms of talent, but you just have to consider the fit. And then the other part of the fit is, if he didn't feel like he was getting enough looks his way in Cleveland from Baker Mayfield, what makes you think that he's going to get enough looks from Jared Goff?
What makes you think he can be used by Jared Goff? He's not going to target Odell downfield.
Part of what makes Odell such an incredible threat is his ability to stretch the field vertically. At least when, he was with the New York Giants. But, the other thing with Odell is like, is it a sure thing that you're getting? Like,
8 games out of
I don't know. I think injuries have really hampered his ability. And I mean, I'm hoping the best for him, but I just don't get why there's this clamor for like this is what losing organizations do. They don't get players like Odell. It's like, kind of seems like it's the opposite here.
Right.
Yeah. I had a conversation over the weekend with Bucky Brooks, who was kind of pumping. He wasn't like bashing the Lions, but he was like, what, think about the Lions. What about, wouldn't you want to get, another generational, wide receiver who could start and do a lot of things? But, I think the point I pushed back on him with that is that the Lions aren't really going to be contending. And when you're looking for a guy, you're going to want some guy who's going to buy in long term, right, which isn't what Odell's here to do. He wants to go play for a contender. As Jeremy points out, it's structured properly so that he can pass through waivers and then sign with whoever he wants if they are interested, which seems to be the case. I think Browns even, you say, Browns made him untouchable, but again, I think that's a favor towards Odell to make him untouchable so he can go through the waivers.
Absolutely. That's
goes to the team he wants to go to.
Absolutely.
And I push back on like the one thing I do push back on Odell is that I hear too many people lately calling him a diva wide receiver again, which I mean, okay, I don't know what's going on with his father posting the clips of Baker Mayfield not targeting him, but at the same time, everything you hear about Brown's locker room is like, this guy just comes in, shuts up, does his work and goes home, which is what you want out of a wide receiver. I don't think there would have been a problem with OBJ coming to the Lions in another year, but I think it's, as you say, like the money doesn't work. The situation doesn't work. The Lions aren't contending. I guess
I'm kind of with you and also against you because like, I do think that he's not the diva that he used to be, or but at the same time, like, you want to go play for a contender. The Browns are doing pretty good right now. Like they're not.
I don't think the Browns are doing good, Jeremy.
They're 5-4. Like they're in position where they can win the division, make the playoffs, all that sort of stuff. His complaint is that he's not getting the ball enough, which to me is kind of selfish, right? Like that's not. I understand it. And I think if you think you're that talented of a player and you deserve the ball, I get it. But I mean, you're in a decent situation where just wait your turn, and he's not. So I mean, that sort of attitude was never going to fly with Detroit, anyway. So
yeah, I just don't see the Browns to be the contender you are, regardless of they might have a slightly above 800 record right now, but like eye test wise, is the team that is really kind of struggling. And look, if he's got some problems with Baker, then all the more reason to go find a way out, not only a way out, but then also to go compete.
Well, that's the last thing that I want to say about Odell is kind of piggybacking on Jeremy's point, but you hear all these teams that would potentially be interested or should be interested in Odell. And it's like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's like they have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and
Antonio Brown.
Well, yeah. I mean, when he's not injured, cause looks like he's a little banged up right now, but like the point with standing is like, why would he want to go to a team where he's going to be buried on the depth chart again in terms of targets or something like that? So like, it seems like he has a very specific team he's looking for, a team that's in contention, but doesn't have a number one wide receiver, which is maybe like the Baltimore Ravens ? I mean, but like, I don't know. Like, the Odell thing is very strange. I would venture to say that Odell Beckham Jr., whichever team he goes to, doesn't end up moving the needle.
No, it's hard for a wide receiver to move the needle to begin with.
But they should. They feel like they're it feels like such an important position where if you have a really elite guy like Devontae Adams, it changes that. But like it doesn't seem like Odell is that guy anymore. So I guess that's my point.
If there's one thing we've learned this season, it's that the lack of a wide receiver is definitely more maybe more impactful than having a good one.
But at the same time, you look at what's going out there. There's not a lot of teams where it's like this is the number one target, like prime. Like there's guys like CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Adams, but a lot of those good teams out there have multitude of receivers rather than just one. And if if you don't have one to begin with, and getting one doesn't change your fortunes either too much.
All right, I feel like we're talking way too much about.
Yeah, we're talking too much on this.
Never had a chance of even being a Lion.
Well, he's the hot. This is actually his second chance.
Okay, all right. We don't know, Ryan.
Jeremy, it's about winning culture and about getting the winners to come here and all that awful stuff. Let's talk about Taylor Decker.
Okay. But yeah, I was just gonna like kind of move that into like that was kind of one of our main topics. We're trying to figure out like the biggest questions remaining facing this team. One of them was, can they find help anywhere? Odell Beckham was no. I don't think there's any other free agents. And then the other source is the practice squad, which is also kind of a no-go. Like you're kind of stuck.
Yeah,
the whole major point of that whole section was just like supposed to be Lions are stuck with the guys they got. Let's see how they play.
And they're stuck with the guys they don't have. Like losing Tyrell Williams was something that like I mean,
I think
what a
that's what fueled a
bummer.
lot of the OBJ stuff, but Tyrell Williams, it just sounded like was not going to be much of a return this year.
Yeah. Campbell
And
talked about him a little bit today and basically said he's getting better, but like there was just not really much of a chance of him doing anything here. And so there was a mutual decision to split there. And obviously, I mean, it doesn't really impact the roster at all because the dude was on IR, which is why it was funny to me that everyone's like, oh, they released Tyrell Williams. Here comes OBJ. It's like, no, there's still 53 guys on the roster. That's not how that works.
yeah, if anything else, this probably means more for Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I know, looking at a rundown, we have him slated to talk about a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a bit.
Yeah, let's save Decker for a second, but like as far as other pieces that we keep thinking about on where Lions are looking for help, I feel like the next big topic is, unfortunately, it's back to quarterback again. And we talked about it, I think, a few weeks leading into this about, look, Jared Goff gets benched out for David Blau to end the game against the Eagles. And I think we had speculated on the podcast a few weeks ago about whether or not this team would look towards Tim Boyle in the bye week. And Dan Campbell today on Monday said there's no plans to go to the backup. So, Jeremy, I guess I ask you, as far as quarterback help, do the Lions intend to try to run the rest of the season with Jared Goff?
I think so. Yeah, I think there's no question about it. They like Tim Boyle a lot, and the big quote, I'm putting big in quotation marks because backup quarterback news in Detroit is always quote unquote big. He's returning to practice.
Baby.
Tim Boyle's returning to practice, so it seems like he's probably going to come off IR fairly soon once they get him ready to go. And I'm pretty sure they view him as a backup. So there's not a competition there. And yeah, Campbell said, I think it was actually last week on 97.1 where he said, we're not even considering going to a backup. And I don't really see a point in doing it either. Like Tim Boyle isn't a guy that you're going to groom to become your starter. David Blau certainly isn't that guy either. So I don't know what going to another guy accomplishes unless you think that they're better than Jared Goff. And if you think Tim Boyle or David Blau is better than Jared Goff, then you don't remember the preseason. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's another part to it. And I don't think that anybody wants to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyways. The Goff restructure keeps him for at least another year, right?
Yep.
Like he's going to be in Detroit next year.
Yep.
Benching him right now, mid-season, I think eliminates any opportunity that he plays meaningful football next year. And I am not completely ruling out the fact that Jared Goff will be the starting quarterback again next year. Like even if the Lions go out and they do something in the draft or something like that, like I think
agency,
I think there's a distinct possibility that the Lions don't want to bench this guy because I think the point is too, is like, he doesn't have a ton of help around him, but I think benching him now, that it's going to be a long off season. And
yeah.
I don't know, getting everybody to buy back in around a guy that you benched 8 games or 9 games or 10 games into the season.
And
I'd go. Yeah, I don't see them burning all that Goff stock like that.
I'd go as far as to say I feel like there's like a 70 to 80% chance he's a starter week 1, regardless of what they do this offseason. Like if they draft a rookie, like I think they're gonna try to take it slow. Anthony Lynn wanted to take Justin Herbert slow last year, and I think that's. I mean, you look across the league, that's what most teams are doing now, and when you have a guy that's taking up 30-some million of your cap room, you're gonna use him kind of as a luxury to ease in your quarterback so you don't hurt him.
You'd have to go out and get someone in the offseason like, I don't know, a Ryan Fitzpatrick, or maybe like I think Tyrod Taylor would be a backup. I don't know about what Teddy would be, to be honest. I think Teddy might still. That would be that's a rough question. Do you want Teddy Bridgewater or do you want Jared Goff? I know right now the grass doesn't look that green, but I'm just saying.
Did you see what Teddy just did to the Cowboys?
I know this weird
baby.
This week is so weird.
He held them scoreless. He held the Cowboys offense scoreless through the first 55 minutes of that game.
He personally did that. The quarterback did that. Yes. The duels between quarterbacks and quarterbacks directly. I'm with you guys there. I know the fans need to be placated in some way, but I think you have some plausible deniability with how bad the receiver core has been, as to like, well, you will want to see a little bit more of what we have in Goff, but it's a tough onion to unpeel as far as how much is it Goff, how much is it the system, how much is the wide receivers. I still think a lot of that blame goes on Goff, but as you say, like, this is all kind of a work in progress. You can't really burn that bridge right now.
But yeah, I mean, the other challenge here though is like they have to find improvement though. Like you can't just run Jared Goff out there for 9 more games and have them score 10 points a game. Like something needs to improve. Otherwise, you're not going to, improve the confidence of this locker room like you would, I mean, you pull the guy or you have him run out there and score 6 points a game. It's all the same. Like no one's going to go into 2022 with any confidence in the guy. So the question is, what do they do? And we got at least a little bit of a sneak peek of that today with Dan Campbell. Again, he mentioned it right after the Eagles loss. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown seems like maybe a guy that they plan on focusing a lot. And interestingly enough, today, talking to Amon-Ra, I asked him, like, well, someone had mentioned, like, hey, Dan Campbell said, we're trying to get you more involved. He's like, cool, that's awesome. I like that. And I asked him, did they tell you what they're going to do? And he said, yeah. Like he actually told me the answer, which was kind of, again, transparency that I'm not used to hearing. Says, I'm going to play more outside receiver. And that to me is very interesting because that to me tells me that he's probably wide receiver 2 now. And then when they go into 3 wide receiver sets, he's the slot guy again. And so that's significant because this team has been really searching for that wide receiver 2 for a very long time. Since Tyrell Williams has been out. It's not Geronimo Allison. It's not Trinity Benson. It's not Kaderil Hodge. They've tried all 3 of those guys. So it sounds like now it's Amon-Ra, and he's getting a chance. And, I mean, he's been probably the best receiver that they have. You could argue maybe Khalif Raymond, but we'll see how he responds to that. Maybe, and this is something that Eric posed on our website, maybe this means we're not going 3 wide too much anymore. Maybe it means two tight end sets. Maybe it means 2 running back sets. Maybe they're just, hey, we don't have wide receivers, so let's put less out there, and we kind of like our tight ends. We have a couple of good backs. Maybe that just means putting better personnel out there in general, and I can get aboard that.
2 tight end set might be a little more difficult after they have agreed to waive Darren Fells, though. Sure. So that might become. Is there even another tight end they can go to on the roster?
They brought up Brock Wright. Their rookie out of Notre Dame, who's played the last 2 games and been primarily a blocker and been okay. Certainly better than expected, but not Darren Fells for sure.
Not Darren Fells. Not an extra receiving threat for a 2 tight end set. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan is for those not on the visual medium versions of the POD cast. Ryan is grimacing and showing his upper teeth. So I think that's a sign we.
Just talking about Brock Wright, man. There's still 9 games.
We're improving the offense, Ryan. Addition by subtraction, and the other way. And I'm going to tease the next segment. The other way you can improve Goff's play, and maybe the passing game overall, is to improve the offensive line. And we got some news today that might be coming.
The cavalry is coming. The cavalry is coming, even though half of Detroit wants to trade him for mystery boxes. We're going to talk about Taylor Decker next on the Pride of Detroit PODcast bi-week edition.
All right. I want to take the next minute or so to thank all of the donations we got off stream over the past 5 days or so, just so we play catch up, and everyone that donates does get, at least a little shout out. I want to see where I think we stopped right about there. So Laker Brian came in 4 days ago with the $40 donation. That, by the way, 2 raffle tickets. If you don't know, when you donate in increments of 20, every one of those 20s represents a raffle ticket. You can win Lions tickets. You can win signed footballs by by Penei Sewell, Jamal Williams. You can get a TJ Hawkinson jersey, which I have in the other room now. We have awesome stuff from our friends at Tees, Questionable Tees, including 3 gift packs, 1 Jamal Williams theme, 1 Dan Campbell theme. They're all t-shirts and stuff like that. And a whole bunch of other stuff as well. JP with the $20 2 days ago. Thank you for that. BSMMD with the $40 donations. We caught this one on our Madden stream. Baltimore Beatdown with the $10 donation. Says, donate, you cowards. Lefty Detroit then came in with the $100 donation as well. Krolik with 20 a day ago. Just Insane with a 5. Says, don't have much to donate, but fuck cancer. Derek Boberick with $20 yesterday as well. Lions fans in Bogota, 20. Captain James Kirk, 20. Says, love the streams. Thanks so much. Big Aries with the $100 donation tried to get me to shotgun a beer on stream, but the rest of the chat did not pick up the slack at that point. But I believe, is that it might be one of the Wheel of Pain things still.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. We were, I think it was Chug a Beer, and you changed it to Shotgun a Beer, which I told you, since you're around like questionable like electrical equipment, including your computer, that is all very high priced. I'm not sure that's the smartest idea.
I did actually change it this afternoon, and it is no longer included. So maybe that'll be an additional one that we can do for something else. And then right before we went live, our good friend Kuz, the Kuzno, dropped $200. And as Chris alluded to earlier, a $200 donation allows you to add something to Chris's mixed drink.
I'm going to mention that on the podcast, but he did choose absinthe.
He chose absinthe.
We also have someone has redeemed it as well.
Yes.
So we have like the end of the month, I have to drink this 7 Sins drink, and someone else has redeemed it. They haven't told us what it is. So it's right now it's absinthe plus something else.
Yes.
I already don't like this.
And then in terms of the podcast itself or the Twitch page itself, we got Wizard 70 with the resubscription for 8 months. He says, if my request to change Jeremy's background is still valid, I want a close-up of Ryan Santoso's face. I will do that in a minute. Absolutely.
We did interview Ryan Santoso. For those who didn't see it on the podcast feed, Ryan Santoso, mustache aficionado, interviewed. Jeremy interviewed him. That's on the podcast feed if you haven't listened to it yet. Since
this is a Twitch exclusive / YouTube exclusive when I upload it there, might as well spoil what's happening tomorrow. Austin Bryant is joining us with his maybe the fullest face of facial hair. Just like from nose down, it's all facial hair, which is impressive in its own right. So we'll talk to him and talk a little bit about football too. So
Just Insane asking me, what if everyone picks absinthe? Would you just drink a cup of absinthe? Yes. 50 milliliters of absinthe at Total Wine and More is $4. I will chug that thing.
Captain James Kirk with the 10 bits says, Decker is Decker, but a draft pick could be anything. It could even be a tackle that's Decker quality.
We get some fire up chips going. Yeah, fire up chips, baby.
Yeah, I do need to catch up on some writing on my faces as well. So if that's what you want on my face, I will draw that in a minute. Thick Boy came in with the 6 months, says I don't know what to put here, but go Lions, I guess. Works for me.
Chips fans feeling themselves beating Western this week.
Okay,
so
God bless action.
Correctional schools.
Let me get Santoso on here. You guys talk to people or something.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk. Speaking of college, Ryan.
Yeah.
That was almost ordained, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you knew that was going to happen.
What? Put Purdue in the college football playoff, you cowards.
You know why? My friend had a great conspiracy theory on why Michigan State was even ranked third to begin with there, so that Ohio State would have a top 5 matchup against them to try to get Ohio State back into the playoff rankings at the top if they beat them.
Hey, if anybody loves a good conspiracy theory,
it's hard for me not to with this playoff committee that is completely run by ESPN for a bunch of bowl games that are carried only by ESPN, a television network with regards to their rankings.
Yeah.
That is doing its damnedest to keep Cincinnati out.
I was gonna say how many undefeated teams were there? There were 3 going into last week that were out of the top 5.
Yeah.
That weren't.
And meanwhile, Alabama's still up there, and Oklahoma was the most shafted. They were down. They were like 8th, and they're still undefeated.
Yeah, I think everybody knows, though. I think everybody sees the writing on the wall with them. But yeah. The Cincinnati stuff is wild.
Not a big Cincinnati place here to talk about that, but everything we used to say about the SEC about teams getting like jumped into the top 25 so you can claim quality losses by beating up other top 25 teams seems to be happening right now with the Big Ten.
Yeah.
This is
oh man. I hate the Big Ten.
Why can't I draw a straight line?
Let's Cincy in so they lose to 40 by Alabama or Georgia. That's fine. They at least deserve to be there, though. You have 12 points of data in a football season. You're not going to fit chips on there. You're going to have to do fire up and then above it chips. So it'll be chips fire.
No. You might just have to do fire arrow up. Yeah, it'll save you some writing.
But like if Cincinnati, let Cincinnatians they get blown out. Who cares? They're like it's a big. But this whole thing about best teams is bad. It should be about deserving teams.
Yeah, I agree with you too, because you know what I don't want to hear on ESPN or anywhere else? I don't want to hear about how Cincy didn't get a chance, and had they got a chance, I would rather let them get blown out by 40 and be like, see?
So here's two thoughts I have on it. Number one, Cincinnati still has an insanely good win on their record in beating Notre Dame, who's a top 10 team.
Yeah, wasn't the funny thing though, like Notre Dame could count Cincinnati as a quality opponent, but Cincinnati can't count Notre Dame.
Here's the other thing too, and this is again where I become the conspiracyist as Jeremy continues to struggle here. Take Wake Forest's schedule, remove Wake before they lost to North Carolina this weekend, but remove the name Wake Forest from it and put Clemson there. And try to tell me with that schedule, with Clemson, with those 7 wins, wouldn't be a top 4 team.
Oh yeah, it's just because they're Clemson, right?
Yeah, but the ACC is shit, is my point.
Yeah,
the ACC is dog shit, and now all of a sudden, now that it's not Clemson, we're regarding the ACC as shit, which would prove to you that all this shit about this conference, Cincinnati's not playing good opponents, that didn't matter for Clemson. So why the fuck does it have to matter now for Cincinnati?
Well, goes back to your original point. Just a bunch of ESPN people that are picking the teams that they want to see play.
I can't.
Yeah, Big Aries points out, by the way, that was the non-conference UNC game. Like UNC had scheduled them as like a non-con. That game does not count towards ACC standings.
Jeremy, what are you doing?
What the fuck?
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you just got to make up a little more clear.
Yeah,
you scubbed out the. Did you try to make a W?
No, I don't know what I tried to do.
Is that supposed to be an up arrow?
It is. It's real bad.
Jeremy, it's so bad.
You fucking try, all right? It's not easy.
I would have just written up. You could have just written up there. And instead you've got a massive smudge on your face.
My camera is also reversed, so this is really fucked, all right? I'm not starting over.
Oh, no. Ryan's doing it. Why'd you start in the middle of your face? What is wrong with you guys?
He's just trying to prove that he can write an arrow. Wow, congratulations. When you only have to write one thing, you're
hey,
good at
how is that? Did I do a good job?
Wow, Ryan's now an airbender, folks.
All right. Whatever.
Oh my god.
Dick Boy, by the way, thank you for the $5 donation.
Good job. Good effort.
Jeremy.
Fire chips. Fire blob chips. Fire blob chips.
Whoa, geez, are you Dan Orlowski?
Ooh. How did everyone spend their bye week?
Vegas, baby.
How was that?
It was all right. Vegas is not my favorite place in the world. I don't really like to gamble. I certainly don't like cigarette smoke as much as apparently everyone else in that.
Did you stay at the Bellagio?
I did not.
Where was it? Because the Bellagio is notorious for smelling like tobacco.
Well, here's the thing. I stayed at the Mirage.
Ooh, that's almost as bad.
But the biggest problem is that apparently there was a cigar convention that month, and it was that week or weekend or whatever, and it just made everything. Cigar smoke is 1,000 times worse than cigarette smoke.
I like cigars. I'll smoke a cigar. You won't touch me with cigarettes, but I will have a cigar every now and then.
Cigar culture is almost annoying as cigar smell. I hate it. And the worst part about it was like in the casino, like I get it. It's going to smell like cigarettes. That's what casinos are in Vegas. But if I want to go out to the fucking pool and just lay out in the sun, get your goddamn cigars out of here. I'm trying to breathe.
So wait, you want people
air.
to smoke inside but not outside?
Absolutely.
Like, where are we supposed to...
Yes, because everyone knows it's an unwritten agreement that if you're going to hang out in a hotel or in a casino in Vegas, you're just going to smell. You're going to reek of cigarette smoke.
You're the one person who doesn't want a smoker to go outside. I got it. Wizard 70 just dropped $20.
He did. Thank you for that. Appreciate
for
you.
donation. Thank you.
That is another raffle ticket.
That is.
If by the way, if we still owe you something for one of your past donations, like writing something on my head, like there's still room on my head, I'll do it. Or if you want me, I know there are a few. We've got a few in the queue with the change of background. Maybe like halfway through the show, I change it to something else if that's still yours.
Hello to Roar of the Lions UK coming in. Our friends, the British Lions podcast out there.
Yes, sir. They do some awesome work over there, by the way. Like
they've been going hard on Twitch.
They're all like into the draft and stuff, and I'm not. But like they're doing the smart thing.
I think it's Ryan McCluskey. I see him on Twitter giving his hot takes every time he's watching so much, staying up watching the full college slate. I love it.
I wish I had that in me. But the last thing I wanted to say before we can just talk about whatever is I don't know how legible it is, our total in the bottom left, but we are at what,
$2,320,
which means we're 180 away from a spin of the wheel of this godforsaken thing. Which here I'll update you guys on what it is now. So I kept biting onion like an apple because that sounds god awful. I don't want to do that at all.
Real quick. What kind of onion do you have for that?
A white onion.
Sweet onion? Oh, white.
White or maybe it's yellow. I don't know.
Is it like the sweet onion, like the brown, the Mayan? No,
I don't know.
Or just a plain white, a pure white.
Do anything? Are you gonna like dash some salt on it or something?
Nope.
A little Tabasco.
I'm not gonna eat the whole thing. I'll swallow my one bite, but it's to be clear, it's just gonna be one bite. I don't think I could survive more than one.
Bake that sucker. That's my favorite Townsend video. Is that colonial American baked onion recipe he does?
With the skin, we'll see. Ice down the pants. It's a new one. Not sure how that one's gonna go. Hopefully, I don't hurt things down there. This is also a new one, and I had to go out and buy things for this. I bought some wax strips.
Oh God.
Wax part of my leg because that's kind of the only place that I have hair that's acceptable to wax on stream. I suppose I could be talked into chin, I guess, since I'm not going to grow out the chin hair. I don't know if wax strips would work on an armpit. I guess I could be talked into that too, but I don't know if
eyebrows.
No, eyebrows are a no-go.
It's a non-starter.
That is a non-starter. Eyebrows are
sideburns.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a lot of. Sometimes you cut your own. Sometimes I let my sideburns grow out just accidentally. But.
And then what was the last one? Oh, hot sauce shot. So that one's returning, except this time I got the same brand that I did last year, but I got the step up, the extra
What'd
hot
you get?
Peri Peri.
What'd you get?
Peri Peri is the name. So, anyways, we're $180 away from that happening, and that happens every $2,500 we raise. So that could literally happen. I mean, an infinite time. But it could happen twice today. It could happen only once. We'll see. Depends on how generous you guys feel. And again, like, I'm not trying to pressure you guys to donate what you can. If you can't donate, don't donate. But if you want us to reach those goals and you can't donate, share our stream, share the link. You don't even have to tell people, who we are. You could just give them a link and say, hey, this cause is important to me. Maybe I know a lot of you seem to be affected by cancer and say, hey, just tell your mom, tell your cousin, say like, hey, this is an important charity drive to me. If you could donate whatever, we'd really appreciate it. Boom. Simple as that. Just like the Honolulu Blues just did with $20 donation as well. And I don't know why these were supposed to be showing up on the stream. I don't know why they aren't showing up on the stream. Let me check my Tiltify overlays. Front page.
Jeremy, I have a suggestion for the wheel.
Okay.
If I were to supply it, would you eat baby food?
Yeah, I think I would.
The only reason I suggest it is because it'd be like the ultimate RoboCop. Remember, that's how RoboCop eats his baby food.
What?
It's just a deep cut. It's for RoboCop.
It's the deep cut. It's one of the hallowed movies of the Pride of Detroit family.
But I don't know. Maybe if we did something where it's like add that hot sauce to baby food, and like eat the jar. God, what kind of I've never had baby food. I mean,
from what I understand, it's mostly like sweet potatoes and like sweet peas and
and
that
like
kind of
rice and stuff. Or
yeah, it's like sweet tuber type of and legumes type of flavors. Very heavy on that, from what I've heard.
Well, Chris
here we
Shepard
go.
just came in with the
Chrissy
$80. Says fuck cancer, and this may be the second time I've donated because I was impatient and clicked the first link to donate directly the first time. Hey, either way, we appreciate it. $80 does give you the option to mute a host, by the way, and I don't know if you want to do it now. So this is the first time someone's redeemed this, so we can maybe in the chat you can just say, you just like write in all caps or something, mute whoever you want whenever you want, I guess. I don't know if is that your Twitch name?
Yeah, let us know. I mean, you could always just DM Jeremy when it's time for it. I think you can mute whoever on gag.
Who does the muting? I
think it would be Jeremy.
I'll just do it. Yeah, I'll just do it. I can literally mute everybody. But if it's me, I'll mute myself. That's fine.
Do it for the gram.
Yeah. In general, I think it works best if that's anytime you redeem a reward or you're trying to redeem a reward, if you can put it in your donation message. I know it's not the easiest because you put your message first and then you redeem a reward. If it was the other way around, it'd be easier. But either way, like we're willing to work whatever works best for you. I'll just highlight it. Cool. That's cool. That's perfect. That works great. Okay, so how close are we now?
to the wheel.
$60. Pull through, folks.
There's another 20 from our friends over on the pond. The Roar of the Lions UK. $20 says, keep up the good work, guys. Love the show. Love the cause. Love from across the pond. Okay, so now are we 80? What'd you say before? Okay, we are 60 away.
60. That's what I said. I told you 60.
Okay. Maybe I need an overlay where I can read that a little better because it's so tiny. Can you guys, you watching, I don't know, like on your devices, is it legible how much we've raised? Or should I change the overlay to something that's a little more...
I'm sorry. I'm torturing Ryan in DMs right now.
Lions 1910 with the 13-month subscription says you should add opening a can of surströmming to the wheel. What is surströmming? Surströmming? You're on a 24-inch screen, small for readable. Now I need to know what surströmming is.
Lightly fermented.
Oh no.
It's Baltic herring.
Oh,
Swedish Baltic herring. It is fermented.
Fermented fish.
Yeah.
That is not going to make it down. Where could I find this at a normal probably couldn't find it at like a Kroger, right?
Not at a Kroger, probably not.
You probably have to get it from like a fish
I thought about
market or
picking
get
up
it
sardines,
imported.
but I don't know if sardines is extreme enough.
Sardines are good.
I just have it on my phone. It's super small. I'll think about maybe messing with the lutefisk.
Lutefisk? Oh, God. I think Sir Stroming is up there with Ludafisk. I mean, it's not lie, granted, but
I think something on the wheel should have been Ryan comes over with Jets pizza, but Jeremy has to eat like sardines on his pizza.
I just watch Ryan. I get cooked by Jets pizza. Is basically what you're saying.
No. Yes, you're getting cucked by the guy with the jetpack on his back, whatever his name is.
He's got a pretty good mustache. Jets needs to sponsor our Movember next year.
We've been saying this for 6 fucking years. Jets, sponsor us.
Oh boy, 20 from Nick the Green, which I don't know if that was just a mistype or.
He says it's a mistype.
You said what the hell?
To avoid the Matt Patricia Wet t-shirt concert. And then Captain James Kirk with the 60 says Wheel of Pain. Also change your background to Aaron Rodgers on the ground with his stupid face. Well,
we can talk about Aaron Rodgers at all.
We could.
Oh God, but why?
Let me keep the background.
Let me do
segment,
this. Let's do this first. Okay. Yeah, while Jeremy's handling that, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was possible to speed run destroy your reputation within like 20 minutes, but our man did it.
I didn't know that one could do it on something called the Pat McAfee show.
So quickly. He hit every mark too. He's like, I didn't lie. I just, nobody asked me a follow-up question. Yeah, nobody's going to this isn't politics or business reporting. They're not going to burn that fucking bridge to go after you by like, what'd you mean immunized? Like, they kind of expect you to be above the board. That's on you, you dick.
I think Aaron Rodgers wants football to be politics more than anything else.
It's funny because like I think some of the guys who I talked to was like this all fits with Aaron Rodgers. He's arrogant and a dick, but at the same time, from what I know online, like we seem to regard him as like the smart quarterback, the one who's about analytics and throwing well, and it's not about the wins and the rings for him, but he's clearly by the eye test the best quarterback you see. And all those bloggers who were standing him for the longest time, they've all got egg on their fucking face now.
Yep, Roger's an idiot. Cool. I don't like giving him airspace, even here.
My favorite part about it was that he says, I would like to add this to the mix as an aside, but the great MLK said you have to have a moral obligation to object to unjust rules and rules that make no sense. I can't believe that Aaron Rodgers pulled out MLK.
Well, he pulled out MLK. He pulled out I'm a critical free thinker, which if you call yourself a critical free thinker, it means you're the biggest fucking sheep on the planet. There he is. There he is.
How do I split this with
Santoso? Just stick it over there.
Right there. Is that good?
Just sticking out my eyes like, hey, what's up? Like,
I think we'll do that. I think that's fun.
Like, so you hit all those. He hit like, I've been taking advice from Joe Rogan, which even if you enjoy listening to Joe Rogan, you shouldn't take advice from him. What else was there?
Oh man,
he sucks.
God,
Packers, by the way, clearly with no hope with Jordan Love there, though.
Dude, if the Kansas City Chiefs defense is able to stymie you, you got problems.
They barely threw to Aaron Jones at all, and that Jordan Love does not think Aaron Jones exists.
How confident are we that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be back next year with the Packers? Because I feel like I was close to 100% at the start of the season. And maybe this is just me being the scared Lions fan that thinks everything is always going to go wrong. But I feel like it's starting to slip.
I think he'll be back.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a greater chance that he comes back to Green Bay or just walks away from football?
I don't think he'll walk away. I feel like they set up.
Are you sure? Because I think he's totally ready to just be like, People canceled me.
Maybe, but I don't know. Like, they made real changes to his contract to make it so that he can get an out next year. He posted the Last Dance meme. Like, that's something, right? Like, can you go back after posting the Last Dance?
Yeah, sure. Just like you can go back and say, "Oh, I didn't mean I wasn't vaccinated. I'm just saying I was immunized." He's a total fucking snake. You shouldn't believe anything that comes out of his mouth at this point. Now, granted, if he does go to the Broncos, it feels like the Broncos are clearing room for him.
I was going to say he has to go to the NFL equivalent of the Washington Wizards.
Jaguars? That doesn't make any sense in terms of where they're at. But
no, the Wizards, the Jaguars are the Kings. The Jaguars are the Kings.
What's the NFL equivalent? Would you say the Kings?
The New York Jets?
Oh, maybe.
I don't think Zach Wilson. I know you're just shit posting.
Texans?
But...
I mean, Texans.
Oh, Texans is a good one. Texans is a really good one.
Oh, man. If Rodgers goes to Houston to be a Texan with that bum-ass organization, man, that'd be kind of amazing.
I guess what's going to like make Green Bay go after him hard is, again, like, what's their alternative right now? Like, they're not going to be a good position to draft a new quarterback. Jordan Love is not it. Well, we can all agree that we want a bad future for the Packers, but like, I don't think they have much of a choice other than try to convince him to stay.
They'll try, but I don't think they've closed the book on Jordan Love based on one start.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's too early to judge him, but clearly, like, it's even Jordan Love at his height will be a step down from Aaron Rodgers.
Of course. Any quarterback that isn't, I mean, I was going to say Patrick Mahomes, and now I'm not too sure about that
season right now.
Is there a step down? Matthew Stafford is maybe not a step down.
Not the Matthew Stafford I saw last night.
Yeah, already got the Andy Stafford people once again coming out of the woodworks after they all go very quiet for like 6 games, and suddenly Stafford has one bad game. Is like, see, I told you so. He could never change his stripes.
Can't play in big games except for the other
play
like,
in big
4
games
big games that he played in already.
Tennessee Titans.
All right, should we spin? Is it time for a spin?
Yes.
All right, I have to pull up Streamlabs here.
Is there a Kyler Murray versus Dak Prescott debate?
Yeah,
there's a bet. I don't remember what the bet was, but
was it like buying? Was it like a chicken finger pita or something like that? Was it like buying?
Maybe
buying like
did anyone
dinner
clip
for
it?
Somebody else?
Maybe chat remembers what the specific bet was, but yeah, I bet that Dak Prescott was going to have a better year. He bet that Kyler Murray will, and took a little step back this week, but I feel like we're still pretty damn even, right? Like,
well, I feel like for as much as you took a step back, Colt McCoy coming in and
dude,
beating
what's Kyle Shanahan's excuse?
The breaks out the 49er that candlestick. Yeah.
What is Kyle Shanahan's excuse this year? It can't be injuries. Jimmy G was not bad in that game.
You know what?
Like what? And you keep playing him anyway. What the fuck is your excuse now, Kyle Shanahan? It's not that Saleh fucked off to New York.
Maybe it is. I still very much believe in Kyle Shanahan. I don't know what's going on there.
Why? What has he shown you? What has he shown you other than going to that Super Bowl? Like now, how many years ago is that now? Like what the fuck has he shown you?
He's still I watch that team and I watch some of the things they do on offense, and it's very creative and it's good. And if he can get like the defense is not playing well over there. They are dealing with a lot of injuries over there. And I mean, like,
again, we're acting
like they're a fucking disaster at 3-4 or whatever they are.
In that division, that's out of the playoffs.
It's not necessarily though, because there's three wild cards this year, and I think the third wild card is like 4-4 right now. They're in a tough division.
I think, but like that other wild card, like the Rams are probably gonna get one of those wild cards. I think the Saints got that other one unlocked though.
Yes,
like,
but there's a third one though. There's a third one.
There's a third one.
There's a third one.
I'm gonna hand it some shitty team. It's probably gonna be the Falcons.
Exactly, like the 49ers.
It's gonna be the Falcons.
It could. I mean, they're in it right now. They're literally in that third spot right now.
Could it be the Lions?
Shut up. All right, let's spin this stupid thing and get whatever is about to happen over with. Widgets. Where is my spin wheel? There it is. All right, you guys ready for this?
I am disappointed we don't actually have a physical wheel for this.
POD budget's just not good enough this year. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
We should probably do this next time.
Excuse me, I gotta go get a fucking onion.
Oh, hey. One of those podcasts. That's all right. I got a whole case of Sapporo here.
That's good stuff. I haven't had a Sapporo.
I love Sapporo. Like, I know this is probably gonna get declarations of weeb from me, but as far as like light lagers, like these are good. These are so good. I think I'm probably gonna get sushi tonight anyway. So
I'm jealous. I want to be able to eat dinner. I'm so hungry.
Yeah. So hungry you need PF Chang's?
They yeah, I would. They took away our free lunch at school. We were getting free lunch. Yeah, they took it away from teachers.
The bastards. Asahi is a superior wheat beer, I guess. I can't really get a case of cans of Sapporo, and I'm all about Hokkaido supremacy. So
no, he's got to swallow the part that he bites.
Yeah, I've agreed to swallow.
Yeah, you got to take the wheel down. You got to take the wheel down.
Good call. Sorry. Haven't bitten it yet. I did grab a Founder's Porter so that I can wash it down.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds very good.
There's the apple. I don't know why it's partially transparent.
So that is a sweet onion, then.
The apple?
Did I say apple?
We'll call it an apple.
I'm trying to manifest in my brain that this is an apple so that I'll be able to do this. No, I'm going to try to make it as big of a bite. I've never tried to bite into an onion, so I don't know the resistance. I'm going to peel a little of the skin off. Okay, there's
peel a little off because you don't want to. I've accidentally eaten that skin before. It's not fun.
It doesn't look particularly clean.
It does not. It will not go down properly. You will choke. You're gonna have to like disable your green screen so we can even see it. You're biting in an invisible onion right now.
Do you want me to disable the green screen?
Just so I can see the onion, just for a second.
All right. We'll just wait. How do I do that? I forgot on this.
OBS cam.
Has this got a filter on it? No. That's not gonna help, right? It's fine. I see it.
I see enough. All right, that's fine. Go back to what you have then.
All right, just bring the Ford Field back. Rogers, Santoso. All right, here we go. 3.
God, I can smell my cat taking it.
2. Okay, we don't need to hear that. We're trying to get a clip here so that we can post it to the internet, and we don't need it to start with I can hear my cat taking a shit. Or
I can smell my cat.
No one needs to hear that. All right. For charity. Here we go.
Yeah, it's transparent. So we can't even see you took a bite out of it.
It looks like a lot of onion.
It's a lot of onion.
Describe the flavor.
Here,
onion. Flavor is onion. The flavor is onion. Man, you went like 5 layers deep.
Oh man, that was way too.
That
big
was
of a bite,
that was
Jeremy.
an apple. That was an apple bite. Look, you got no one to blame but yourself. You took that big ass bite. You took that big ass bite.
I'm trying to do things that make people like me.
That's my
Maybe
failing.
now
Clearly,
they'll like me.
Maybe you like me now.
Fire up chips.
Oh God, that's so horrible. I'm at a point where I need to swallow it, and I don't know if I can.
Oh, you brought that porter though, didn't you?
I did.
You can wash it down. You can wash it down.
Hold on. I'm trying to also get the garbage.
Get the porter.
Get out of here. You're in the way. I really want to spit this out so bad. Okay, that helped.
All right, now just drink 5 more of those on stream.
No. Oh, that's going to leave a horrible taste in my mouth all night.
Milk and apple cider.
Zazu, you're not allowed to have onions. I think they kill you.
Really?
I think so.
No. It's not chocolate.
Chocolate's not the only thing they're toxic. I honestly think they can kill you.
I don't think they can eat avocado, right?
Is that true? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't think that they can eat avocado.
Oh.
The thick boy's saying it does kill dogs. Okay.
All parts of the onion plant are toxic to dogs.
There you go. Oh.
But we'll eat it.
Oh, God. All right, so no one donate any more money. We're done with the Wheel of Pain forever.
We should like change who has to deal with the Wheel of Pain.
We could. I mean, if you guys are up for some of these things.
I ain't got wax strips, but I'll go try to find some. Jesus. Wow, God. Clip that burp. Holy crap.
Oh, no. I never want to experience that taste again. The onion burp was worse than onion
apple
itself.
cider, man. Just get some apples will wash that out.
I do have apple cider vinegar. I've never actually had that, though. Wait, why is my webcam... Oh, right, I moved it so that you can see
Mr. Oh, my God, dude.
This is uncontrollable. I'm sorry.
He's going to be doing that during the recording.
It's involuntary. Oh, God.
Shall we get back to this?
Please. I don't can I put this onion out of view so I don't have to think about it? Derek with the $20. That bite is definitely worth another 20.
Jesus Christ.
There we go. Making the people happy. Oh, there was 2 requests for Zazu. I'm sorry. Zazu, come here. Come.
Don't touch the onion.
Don't touch the onion. Come here.
Onion will kill you.
Come here, baby.
Any interest in this Monday night game at all, Brian?
Yes.
How much money do you have on it?
I just 20. I'm interested
in. Donated that, by the way.
You know what? Here's what I'll do. Starting next week, I'm gonna take $100, and whatever I turn that $100 into, I will donate on stream.
I went into Vegas thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, any money that I win in Vegas, I'm just gonna put it right into the charity. Never, not even for a minute, was I up in Vegas.
I hope I get enough in a week to spin the wheel again.
I will say Ryan did help me out the one time I went to Vegas, and I did what was it? What did we do, Ryan? I think I asked you for help on a 5-way NBA parlay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then I told Steve, my friend Steve Fezzik, that I did an NBA parlay, and he almost smacked me right there and then in the Caesars Sportsbook for trying to waste my money. Calling a professional gambler. Yeah, I gamble on the NBA in a 5-way parlay.
Silliness.
We should all do 100 really awful $1 parlays and see what we hit. That'd be pretty fun.
Ryan, I've been told parlays are sucker bets. Your thoughts?
Dude, I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a freaking boat last weekend. But parlay bets, I mean,
from a professional side, if you're interested in the marginals, in expanding your bankroll, in doing it as from a professional sharp angle, yes, parlays are bad bets. If you're just trying to go out there and just have some fun with a little bit of money, who cares?
Yep.
They're just such long shot odds bets usually that unless you really know what you're doing with them, they're just not. The returns on them aren't great versus just making individual bets.
Yeah, I remember listening to a Sharp talk about the year that the Lakers went 15-1 in the playoffs, and it was 2001 when they only lost that one game to Philadelphia.
Right.
But he, as like a spicy bet, he was so like sure that the Lakers were going to win the title, and he thought that they were just going to march their way to the title, that he like his spicy bet was placing like a bet on the Lakers to win the title at the beginning of the playoffs. Like even something like that has those kind of odds, like those, like
a futures. Yeah,
like a futures bet. Like that's another way of like what you just said, Chris. Like if you're interested in kind of just throwing a little bit of money on something that could potentially hit big. Yeah. But like that, yeah. Parlays and future bets. It's like getting a lotto ticket. It's like getting a scratch off.
Yeah. It's a lotto ticket. You got to treat it like it's a lottery ticket. Mm-hmm. Like you're playing the fucking Powerball. You'll win big if you hit.
Yep.
But odds aren't great.
Odds are not great.
Guys, I'm like feeling worse.
Yeah, we should probably get going before you just start like just irking that.
When I first bit into it, I'm like, oh, it's a little sweet. This is actually not that bad. And then just like ever since then, it's progressively felt worse and worse. And like,
it's going to start It's going to start digesting soon.
Yeah, I can feel a little bit of that too, and I'm not happy about it.
I think the porter's probably making it worse too.
Yeah, probably. I'm not going to stop.
Gotten some like ginger ale or something.
Craig, it's supposed to say fire up chips. That's supposed to be an up arrow, but I obviously failed miserably. The fire you can kind of see in the chips. It's mostly good. I'm kind of impressed by the S, honestly. But
I think you're trying to say fire Chip Kelly.
Fire Chip Kelly. That's UCLA.
Anti UCLA podcast.
That's right, baby. Fight on.
Oh God, I'm going to try to burp as much as I can off mic, but I can't promise.
No, this will make the podcast better. We should get back to it though. We've been here like 70 minutes.
Okay, good call.
Reminder: whoever has the mute, let Jeremy know when you're going to mute someone. Because I need to make like a time note too on when I need to be mute, when I need to put in mute. This ain't Rick and Morty. Don't burp on stream. I disagree. Welcome back to the Pride of Detroit PODcast. A lot of stuff happened during that break. We will have scraps up this week. I've been slacking off again with them, but Jeremy bit into a onion because we hit $2,500 on donations. We spun the wheel of pain. Jeremy has bit into a sweet Vidalia onion. He is burping nonstop. He's trying to wash it down with porter. Everything is going wrong. Someone before the podcast donated $200. I have a reward on there that I think at the end of the month, maybe if we get enough by like the 15th, so we can split it between donations, but I don't think that'll happen. But either way, I'm going to be doing a mixed drink at the end, alcoholic suicide at the end of the month. And someone has already requested I add absinthe to it. So things are going great for us.
Great.
We are good God. That was nasty. That was really nasty.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to be the same the rest of the podcast.
Are we talking about Jeremy's gastrointestinals, or are we talking about the Detroit Lions?
Heyo. Jeremy, by the way, is trying to wash this down with porter. I think it's making it worse.
He's trying to do his best.
He really is. You know who's also trying to do their best? Taylor Decker. He's back from the injury reserve. He's back. He's returning to practice this week. Once again, we are now back into the sordid, fetid question, what to do with Taylor Decker. Now, if you listen to other places in Detroit sports media, they might tell you, hey, let's just trade Taylor Decker. It's fine. We've got left tackle right now. I want more draft picks. I want more mystery boxes. Who knows? It could be even be another tackle of Taylor Decker's caliber. No. Or it could be what side Taylor Decker is going to be start on. Dan Campbell has said that Taylor Decker is probably going to come back and practice and play at the left tackle position, which means that rookie Penei Sewell, who's had a good start to the year, but he's also had some down games as well, is probably going to move over to the right side. Jeremy, if you can give your thoughts without burping, please, I give the floor to you.
I'm not sure I can do that, Chris, but I will try. It's interesting, right? It's a legitimate conundrum here, because it does feel like Penei Sewell in the last couple weeks has really kind of come on. You know, he had that big kind of confidence booster against the Rams where he went toe-to-toe with Aaron Donald. Played pretty well last week against last week against the Bengals as well. And so, you know, it feels like a kind of poor timing to offset that and have him restart at right tackle. And, you know, I think you also have to be considering the future right now. Is Penei Sewell your future left tackle? Well, if he is, then you have to at least consider keeping him there and continuing to get those reps. But if Taylor Decker is your future left tackle, and to me I know some other people think, you know, maybe they change in the offseason, maybe they change in 2023, whatever. But to me, like this is a clear sign to me that I think they want to keep it that way. I think they want to keep Decker at left tackle and keep Sewell at right tackle. And I don't know if that's a forever thing or until Decker's contract runs out, but to me, they want to see what that looks like, and I have no problem with that. I guess my problem is if Sewell is your future left tackle, why are you messing around and just get him there? And I guess maybe the answer is just we know he's good at left tackle. Let's see if he's good at right tackle. And if that's the case, fine, that's okay. I'm not gonna throw a fit about it because I understand there are benefits to both and drawbacks to both. I'm just kind of eager to see what it looks like. That's where my main feeling. It's not like anger. It's like, let's see how this works.
Yeah, the consternation from people that it's going to somehow mess up his development seems ridiculous to me. Like, I get maybe long term you don't want to hold him at a position he's not used to, but if he is as good of a player as you say, then like I get that transitioning to right tackle is difficult, but I don't think it's impossible for him if he's that skilled.
And clearly the Lions didn't think that either, because truth be told, and this is not me running a victory lap by any means. Okay. But I want Penei Sewell to be come up again. I want Penei Sewell to be just as good as Rashawn Slater. Okay. But a legitimate question is if you knew that Taylor Decker was going to be your guy on the left side, which that contract indicated he was, you had to have so much certainty that Penei Sewell was going to work out at right tackle no matter what. And I'm not saying that he can't work out at right tackle because potentially he could, right? It's just maybe he just needs more reps at it. But my thought process is like how can you think about taking Sewell when that other alternative was there when you knew it was just going to be a plug and play? And I want to see it play out, but this is the thing, is that Decker coming back, he has to play on the left side. Like Decker just has to come back and play left tackle. Like Sewell has to go play right tackle because that's what's going to be for the good of the team over the next like two seasons, I think. Like I don't think you're getting rid of Taylor Decker anytime soon.
Right.
I could see maybe them trying out Taylor Decker next year at right tackle, but I wouldn't ask him to come back from injury and also change his natural position.
Right.
I think that's part of the calculus on why you're moving Sewell, who has taken snaps in the preseason, to go to right tackle.
I agree with that for sure. It's just, man, I can see that with a player of, and I think this is a good example, but when Taylor Decker came into the league, Riley Reiff was the team's left tackle and he swung over and played the right side. That's because that was Riley Reiff. I think that Taylor Decker is a much better tackle than Riley Reiff was. So I don't think anybody can just come in and displace the guy,
right,
especially when he's played so well for so long at left tackle. And yeah, that's, I don't know. Like you're better with both of them, right? Like you don't have Matt Nelson on the field. Yes. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the key part.
Yes, that is important to bring up because he has been brutal the last few weeks, including against that
the worst tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting to me, it was Dan Campbell today talking about it, and he seems very, very confident in Sewell on the right. And I want to read his quote because it's pretty like he's not going to struggle. It's quote, "I think he'll go over there and he won't miss a beat. It'll be a little odd, but I also know that he's got enough reps over there. And look, he's a damn good athlete and he's a professional. He wants to win. He wants to win his reps. So I think he'll go over there and do just fine."
Yeah.
Maybe he's right.
Yeah.
I think that maybe that's what you have to say if you're Dan Campbell, but at the same time, like if you have faith in the guy, then put the faith in the guy.
Yeah. And I know that there are so many more people that are on Twitter that you can find that are doing O-line breakdowns and things like that. But what if part of, Penei Sewell just getting caught up to playing in the NFL was just being a 20-year-old kid who was just getting caught up to the speed of an NFL game where no knock on the Pac-12, but like sometimes you might be able to take some plays off when you're Penei Sewell.
And Rashawn Slater too is also going to a more well put together unit. I mean, he's going to a unit where he's already been put in as a fit. And so of course he's going to play better in his first year with a better quarterback and a better offensive system.
I think it'll just be interesting to see because, so many narratives were already put out there based on Penei Sewell's preseason, right? Like he was at right tackle and a bunch of offensive linemen were like, he looks uncomfortable. He doesn't look natural. The second they put him at left tackle, he goes up against Nick Bosa and plays really well. But I think what people forget is like then Sewell went through a bunch of struggles and some of it the same stuff we saw at right tackle. So how much of that stuff at right tackle was just rookie getting his feet wet, comfortability with things?
Totally.
And how much was uncomfortability on the right side? We don't really know yet. All I know is that maybe judging a rookie based on their preseason, Jamar Chase, might not be a great idea. And so I'm not one of these people that's like he's not going to look natural. He's going to look, his footwork's all going to be messed up, and it's not easy. Like it's not easy to learn two things, and they've certainly put a lot on Penei Sewell's plate in his rookie season, but they drafted him that high for a reason. Like they have a lot of faith in this guy. He's a high character dude. He's a smart guy, and that he mentioned it in that quote. He's a damn good athlete. And that's why they got him above, I think, everything else, is because that dude in space can maul people in the run game. And that's what they're looking to do. And now that they have two guys that are capable of doing that on the tackles, maybe the offense gets a little kick in the ass.
Would be nice. Would be real nice to get a kick in the ass like that. Let's see. What else do we have here? Another person returning from IR. Spin that back. Let's move over to things we want to see kind of looking forward as we go here. So we're looking at young players here, and there's been some good ones to start out, but there's some guys we probably want to see improve through the season. So let me pick this to you, Jeremy. Which young players or rookies do you want to see the most improvement from in the next half of the season?
Yeah. So this is our goals section, right? Of
goals.
The second half
squad
preview.
Goals.
Goals for the last 9 games, because we all know playoffs is not one of the goals. But like you mentioned, I think improvement.
Wait, it's not?
No, sorry. Improvement from the young players. I think that's maybe the biggest goal going forward. And yeah, so I think one of the most anticipated things, and it's not even certain it's going to happen, is Ifeatu Melifonwu returning from IR. He suffered the thigh injury in week 2, I think it was, or week 3 or whatever. Campbell indicated that it's possible he comes back. He also said that it's possible he doesn't come back. But I think they were kind of circling around the bye week to maybe when he starts at least practicing again. But listen, the future at cornerback is so up in the air right now with no one knowing exactly what Jeff Okudah's future is going to be coming back from that Achilles injury. Jerry Jacobs is playing his ass off as an undrafted rookie, but is he a guy you want to be a starter? I don't know. Even a guy like I know everyone loves him. I know everyone loves. I almost said Ifeatu Melifonwu. Why? There's too many.
Come on, get it out.
Amani, thank you. Amani Oruwariye. I don't think his spot as a starter is necessarily locked up long term in any way. So I want to see what Melifonwu can do. I want to see what they even do with him as an option. Is he your outside corner? Is he your nickel corner? They've been moving around so many parts that he's the guy that I am so eager to see in the second half of the season, maybe more so than any other young player on this roster.
Yeah, for me specifically, I don't want to cheat and say a couple of guys, and not because just one of them is going to be on the podcast, and Austin Bryant, but My original answer was Julian Okwara. Like, I'm really interested to see kind of the developmental of his game, because we've seen it as a pass rusher. We've seen it when he gets a chance to just line up and just go at the quarterback. Like, the guy has the speed, he has the physicality, he has everything that you want from an edge rusher from that standpoint. I just want to see if he's going to be more of a player. And what I mean by that is to like diversify some of his game. Like he's made some steady improvements, I think, playing run defense. And I think that has come with the fact that we've seen his snap count go up like almost like each week. Like it's almost been like 8 snaps to 16 snaps to like just the other day or, 2 weeks ago playing a full game, 40, playing, 40 some odd steps, and which is a lot for an edge rusher. And I'm really interested in seeing whether or not, because if you can get Romeo back and then you have Julian too, like, all right, now the Lions do have some guys off the edge that they can really count on moving forward.
For me, and it's been set up almost perfectly for him right now to see what we have with Terrell Williams, not coming back, but Amon-Ra St. Brown. I've been championing him since before the start of the season, almost since he got drafted. And quietly, those numbers have been there. He's been, you wouldn't think it, but he's been getting a lot of targets thrown his way. So they clearly want to use him in the offense. And I feel like he's got a chance to really show up. I know Campbell was talking today about, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy, but kicking him outside and kind of using him more versatilely rather than just in the slot.
Yep.
So you're going to, and I know he's prototypically a slot guy, but you're going to see how versatile he is going forward. He's going to have a lot of time to kind of just be used and hope. And I'm not expecting a ton of big plays out of a rookie wide receiver, but there's a chance to get excited about someone. And the Lions could certainly have the void at wide receiver where any kind of good play will stand out and will go on your resume.
No question. I mean, if Amon-Ra can show up as an outside receiver, like, I'm not going to say that fixes every problem, but it certainly fixes at least one problem that's ailing this offense, and that's the biggest. I think the biggest problem facing the Lions right now is probably at wide receiver. But really quick, like the other guys, like I think the 2 defensive linemen rookies, like I think those guys I need to see a little bit more out of. And not that they're playing bad. I think Aleem McNeil's still playing pretty well. It's just the nature of a nose tackle. You're not going to get a lot of gaudy stats and a lot of gaudy highlights. But I want to see more out of Levi. Like, I feel like they've really taken it slow with him, and we've seen flashes here or there, but it's not consistent yet. And I wouldn't really expect it to be consistent from a guy as young as he was, and a guy who missed a year last year as well. But I want to see him get to a point where I'm like, I can't not watch him on every play because he's doing something on every play. He's making someone miss. He's providing pressure from the interior, which is something this Lions defense has missed for a very long time and has continued to miss. So I guess if I could do a 1B, it would be Levi Onwuzurike, because I'm very, very intrigued by that pick, and I thought it was a good pick, but the fruits of it haven't really grown yet. So he's my dude.
Yeah. If I were to have one quick 1B as well, I would just throw out Jerry Jacobs. Like, I mean, we've got like an incredibly small sample size. It was like a half of a first half of a season. I mean, let's see what the kid can do down the stretch, especially, some games against Minnesota, going up against top flight wide receivers. Like, you'll get another chance to play the Packers and maybe Devontae Adams and, Justin Jefferson. There's so much talent in this division and in this league that, like, I mean, I think you can have a pretty good understanding of like how much of a contributor Jerry Jacobs can be, like, next year or moving forward.
I think for me, the 1B would probably be Derek Barnes.
Sure.
You could definitely use that help in the linebackers right now. I was even thinking, I was even looking around, like eyeballing Jalen Smith this week, and I decided like probably not what I want for the Lions, but either way, like as always, linebackers need good ones. And Derek Barnes has, he's shown some flashes here and there. We just kind of want to see more out of him, more consistency and more growth. Again, rookies need time to develop. All right. So we all have, I think, resolutions here. We're going to do mid-season awards for our third segment, but real quick to close out this segment, What is this? So what you have this written down here, Jeremy, it just says you each add one. So it's these are just things we want to see most out of the Lions going into the.
Just what is a goal for you for the remaining part of the season?
A goal, yeah.
Mine was the improvement of young players. What do you guys want to see? What is if you're either running the Detroit Lions or even as a fan, like what's your goal? What is the one thing that, like, if the Lions can accomplish in the next 2 months, you're like, okay, I believe they're headed on the right path.
Okay. I think I can. Let me put mine out then first, if you don't mind, Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't. No more Eagles games. I think that's an easy enough resolution. I know that it's the NFL and weird things happen. Here's the thing, and someone pointed this out, like, while people are panicking. This was used. Someone pointed this out in the context of Dallas getting blown up by the Denver Broncos, or like the Rams being stymied by the Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans. That the NFL every year has weird games. No team is above taking an absolute bonkers loss, like outside of that one Patriots squad that almost went all the way. Like there's very few teams out there that are just week in and week out, you know that they're going to beat X team. For the Lions, it's not that we don't know they're going to beat X teams, but I think we have this expectation that they're just not going to get the doors blown off them, especially against a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. So you can maybe excuse one of them against a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think I want to see the Lions in close games. We've always had this problem in Detroit where it's like they're beating teams that they're not supposed to beat and they're losing to teams they're not supposed to lose to. And looking down the schedule, like I don't know if I need wins out of them against the Bears and the Broncos, but close games would be appreciated. Close games to show that you're not just completely checked out or just getting out schemed or run over. I think that's probably all I can really ask for at this point.
I think that's a great answer. I mean, and I think the Athletic podcast talked about this a little bit in that, like, Lions fans, I think, have mostly accepted that this team isn't going to win a lot of games this year and understand and, like, have forgiven everyone within the Lions organization that's going to be bad. But if they play more games like that Eagles game, that shit isn't forgivable. Like, you cannot put out a poor effort like that, both in terms of the effort of the players and especially the effort of the coaches, where they just got completely out-schemed, out-coached, outsmarted. That sort of stuff will raise red flags. Like, like you said, like, one of those games, fine, throw it away. Like, the Lions are coming back from a West Coast
and look,
trip.
They
threw the book at the Rams. The Eagles were desperate for a win. I can understand all the stars aligning for 1 week for that to happen. But if it continues to happen, then yeah, people are going to start questioning this coaching staff, and rightfully so.
And I'm not saying a blowout's not going to happen again. Like, I'm looking at that Cardinals game, and if they get blown out in that game, I won't bat an eye about that. Right. Even though the Cardinals will be traveling west to east, that Cardinals team is really, really good. But there's some other teams on here that you shouldn't be getting blown out against. Like I said, Broncos, I said Cardinals, like, Bears, Vikings, like, you should be in those games. Yeah. In games that you're supposed to be in.
Yeah, no, I think it's the perfect answer. Like I just something very similar to it is I just don't want them to ever seem like they showed up so unprepared or they seem so overmatched as they did in the Eagles game. Like, the way that the Eagles ran the football against them was one of the most, like, it was one of the worst losses I've seen, like, in
Boston Scott.
In
Boston Scott running over you, and now this week he's coming off a tough loss and complaining that he's getting his ass kicked in Rocket League by 12-year-olds with a screen named Sugma Dick.
Jeremy said it the best, though, and the reason why that game will stick with me for a while, and maybe here's another thing. Here's a short-term goal or expectation that I have for the team, is that they can't have this, like, hangover. Yeah. Like, they can't have another game like this happen in such close proximity. Because I agree with you, Chris. Like, one of these games you can throw it away, but, like, if it happens again, like, soon, people are going to start to think it's a trend, and it's going to be so hard to dig yourself out of that. If you end up topping the season off by going 0-17, I couldn't care less about them going 0-17, because I think we're all on the same page of as long as they contend, right?
You led me perfectly into a question that I'm actually asking the Pride of Detroit. It's going to be not a question of the day, but one of those things where we poll a specific part of the audience. I'm interested in what you guys. I think I just got Ryan's answer, but what is your priority for the Lions for the rest of the season? Is it between these two things? Maintaining the number 1 overall pick or avoiding going 0-17? Which one is more important to you?
I would rather maintain the look, we've done 0-16 before. Going 0-17 won't befriend me. It'll suck like hell. But God, that's rough because I think we've even had questions about the first overall pick. Like, I think the way I'm looking at the first overall pick at this point is if Thibodeau isn't like a surefire thing, it's going to be Jeremy's favorite time of the year. It's time to trade back.
Can you word your question again, Jeremy?
Sure. Let's just play it out this way. Let's say the Lions are going into the last game of the season. The Jaguars played first. They finished the season 1-16. The Lions are 0.
The Texans. The Jaguars have 2 wins.
Sorry, the Texans. You're right.
Jaguars won over the Bills last night.
I guess that still hasn't processed in my brain. So the Texans they finished the season 1-16. The Lions are 0-16 going into that final game. They risk losing the first overall pick by winning, but by winning they avoid going 0-17 in the first year of a rebuild with a new head coach,
in this scenario, if they win that game, they will somehow like the Texans will leapfrog them with the same record to go to the first overall,
which is likely because the Lions have such a hard strength of schedule. The easier strength of schedule gets the better pick. What are you rooting for on that week 18 day?
The question was easier when you put it to Chris because I had an easier answer, but now you just made it so much more difficult with that hypothetical. Man, so I can't go against my laurels where they're at originally, because when we were kind of talking on Slack in like the week leading up to Taylor Decker returning from IR, like we were talking and I was like, literally it's the only way that this team can maybe pull off a win. Like, is if they get Taylor Decker back on the field, because like you said, you get those 2 big maulers that are just going to clear for this run game. Maybe that wins you a game, in some bad weather, or maybe it wins you a game against a team that isn't ready to be physical that week because they haven't had their bye or something. Like, getting Taylor Decker back, I wanted that to happen. I wanted them to activate Taylor Decker back from IR because he gives you the best chance to win.
Right.
So I can't be pro that and be against giving up the number 1 pick, because I don't think it mattered. Like, Thibodeau, incredible player, incredible talent, probably will be a really good NFL player. But I don't think you're missing out on the greatest thing in the world by having the 2nd pick.
Yeah, I think even we've had some conversations about some of the other edge rushers that are going to be in this draft that if you miss out on Thibodeau, there's still going to be other options.
Say it, Ryan.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
But what if I just don't think that there's a big drop off between taking Thibodeau 1 or taking Kenneth Walker the 3rd, 2nd.
You son of a bitch.
But even still, like, this is the perfect year, as I keep alluding to it. It's also the perfect year. In some ways, the perfect year to trade back and do Jeremy's favorite thing. But it also means that first overall pick isn't going to command the same value it usually does, just because there isn't a team desperate. There's not going to be a quarterback that's going to make a team desperate enough to take the first overall pick off your hands. And even if there was, the Lions should probably be taking that person.
Hey, also, here's the situation. Here's a way that I can push back on Jeremy's really tough hypothetical. The Texans are probably going to be wanting to take a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you could still get Thibodeau at 2.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? They're the Texans. Who knows what they do with that first overall pick?
Would you be okay that hold on. Let me make this scenario even worse for Ryan. Let me say that the Texans, if they got the first overall pick, would take Malik Willis.
Damn it.
Then that's easy. You get Kayvon Thibodeau and you beat whoever. What was it? The Packers? Yeah, Packers are your Week 18 team. Easy.
What if it was even worse? What if somehow the Falcons just like the bottom falls out and they end up with the first overall pick and it'd be Malik Willis to Kyle Pitts?
God.
You just join Mike Rothstein over there on the
Don't
Falcons
become a
beat.
Falcons fan. Don't become a Falcon. That is the word. That is a cursed, fetid field.
I would take the win, by the way. I'd take the win.
I was gonna say, I think I've kind of come over to team get the win.
I'm kind of always team win over team tank in general, and in this kind of extreme example, I know in the record books it's only the difference between one win, but no one remembers the 1-15 teams in history, right? Like, can you name a single 1-15 team in history? Probably not, unless the
probably a Lions team.
Yeah, probably.
By the way, I had to look this up, and Tankathon does list Detroit with a strength of schedule of 0.552. The Texans have 0.514. Yeah. So Lions do have the higher strength of schedule.
Everyone's saying the Dolphins. Yeah, I do remember the Dolphins actually, but whatever.
Dolphins have even lower strength of schedule than the Texans.
Right, and that's because look at the Texans and the Jets. Look at their divisions that they're playing in.
Also a lower strength of schedule. Yeah.
Anyways, like to me, just avoiding the record books, avoiding the media outcry, like how many people are going to write 0-17 stories and how many people already
It'll be a joke for a week or so, but then it'll fade because we kind of
Detroit it won't. It's going to linger for months and months until the team takes the field again in September.
Until they get a win. Yeah, that's when it will
exactly.
linger till.
And I don't want that for Dan Campbell. I don't want that for the rest of the coaching staff. I don't want that for the veterans on this team that are trying to weather the storm and teach these young players to weather the storm. I don't want it for the young players who Dan Campbell said last week, like they're in a dangerous place emotionally right now where they can be, influenced into bad habits if things are bad enough. So, and like I said, I know 1-16 isn't all that different from 0-17, but it is different and significantly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do a short segment where we give out mid-season awards. We're going to try to find some people awardy enough. And that doesn't work.
Award is kind of it's.
We're using that in a really generous term.
It's more like more superlatives than
we love superlatives. Superlatives is becoming something I might have to put on the eventual bingo card one day. Like that, we're just in love with superlatives because we can't say awards because people will be like, "Oh, nobody's earned an award." But we're also millennials, so we believe in participation awards. Yeah,
sure.
All right, we're gonna let Jeremy digest his onions. We somehow got through that without burping, and no one's renewed the mute yet. But let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Pride of Detroit POD cast. All right, where we at?
I needed that deep sigh. I'm still not feeling very good.
Yeah, I'm about to go get another beer.
By the way, thank you for Alexa for following. Appreciate that. I don't think we had any other alerts come in there. Oh, except for lazy.
Start and park racing is absolutely right. Who was the first person to give a millennial participation award? That's right, a boomer.
It is called the Wheel of Pain for a reason. Someone was trying to convince me that biting into an onion was not going to be that bad. You know who you are, by the way, if you're watching.
Me? It's me.
You're wrong. You were wrong. It's horrible. It's worse than the hot sauce shots I took last year, even though I took like 6 of them. It's probably on par with the mozzarella sticks.
I would never. I wouldn't even if I liked onions even more, I wouldn't say hot sauce was that bad. But granted, we did ramen together, and I know I dumped so much chili powder into my ramen to turn it like blood red.
I haven't had good ramen in a while.
It's about ramen season
right now.
It's about ramen season.
I never posted the pictures we got from Sujita. I never posted those pictures from Sujita. We're supposed to post those pictures.
True.
I never did.
What are you doing this weekend?
Probably nothing on Saturday. College football season's over by my estimation.
pretty much.
Let me know. CJ asked, do I need to donate another $10 to get another raffle ticket? The way I plan on doing it, CJ, is adding up everyone's individual donations and just dividing that number by 20. Excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
So if you're sitting on 30 or whatever right now and then you donate another 10, that will get you another raffle ticket. Just make sure you're using the same email. That's all I ask.
Man, I don't know why this.
I'm going to get another beer real quick.
Yeah, I don't know why this tweet just popped up, but like the first round of the 2020 NFL draft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is like god awful, right? I saw that tweet where just like people have. Yeah, go ahead. I don't need to explain the tweet that you're about to explain.
Yeah, CJ Henderson at number 9 got traded for like, what was it, like a 7th or 6th rounder or something like that.
Yeah. Didn't he get released or something? Or maybe, I don't know. Whatever.
Henry Ruggs, I mean, nothing to be said there. Damon Arnett.
Just released.
At pick 19. Isaiah Wilson played 4 snaps and then got cut from the Titans at pick 29. And Jeff Gladney from the Vikings at 31 got cut for felony assault before the season. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first round picks.
Hard to say, hard for the Lions to kind of hold their head up high there with the unfortunate stuff that's happened to Jeff Okudah. But if he can turn it around, like,
yeah,
they can.
Man.
You guys want something ridiculously hot? I've got dried ghost, Trinidad Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper peppers that I grew this year. No thanks.
Ooh, those sound good.
Wait, you know what? I just realized I don't think I ended up buying the Peri Peri extra hot. I ended up getting a ghost pepper. I can pull it out. Maybe you guys know the brand or not. I think it's a local Michigan one.
I can't. I used to be able to access the settings on my camera as it's getting dark around here to change the gain, and now I can't, which is going to be a problem because it's getting like pitch black at 5 p.m. because daylight savings time can go fuck itself.
Whoop.
There it is.
Scotty O'Hotties. The Motor City
Scotty O'Hotties
hot sauce. It's ghost sauced. It's apparently
there we go, just for low light. There we go.
Hot. I don't know why everything's out of focus, but it does say X hot there. That's what I'll take a shot of if we get a spin.
Yum.
And it lands on that.
Delicious.
God, I hope it never lands on Biting Onion again. But we're still pretty far away from that, so I need to worry about it. We're at $2,540, $460 away from $3,000 in just over a week, which is amazing, and I appreciate everyone who has given so far. We only have about a week left in terms of donations for the Prostate Cancer Foundation. On the 16th, we'll switch it over to RAIN, also a really good cause. But if you want to give to the Prostate Cancer Foundation, make sure. Okay, we just got $200 from Uncle Indigo. It hasn't popped up yet. There it is. Wow.
Dang.
What is Indigo adding to my drink?
Pro Lions getting a win. Wins, I should say.
He took an ingredient in the drink. I'm terrified to know what Indigo wants to add.
You get paid on the 15th. Well, you'll have. I don't know. Maybe we're doing our post game stream on the 14th, and the podcast on the 14th. I don't know if we have a stream planned for the 15th, but I feel like we probably should, right?
We'll just do one for funsies.
Yeah. Maybe just like a Q&A session. Just to get a last stream in before we turn over to the new charity.
I made the mistake of grabbing these dried cranberries while I was over there too.
All right, so yeah, did you redeem it for a?
We got ticked off on the 200.
Oh, did okay, yeah. So
yeah,
you can.
He wants a mute as well.
I think he wants a mute as well. I'll give him a mute.
I think you get all the lower. You get all the lower benefits for taking the top one. I thought.
Not really. I mean, then we'd also give him a change of the. My general idea is if you ask for it, I'll just give it to you. It's fine. Like, I don't care. As long as you have donated the threshold and you ask, I'll give it to you. Because I feel like we still owe 2 or 3 green screens, and no one has told me what they want.
Clearly just go multi-green screen with how many you've been at. I mean, you've got Santoso and Aaron Rodgers, ivermectin horse dewormer up there. Aw. Well, you'll have to put back the ingredient then.
So now we have Uncle Indigo.
I need more than just absinthe in this fucking drink.
Well, no, he says I just want a mute too. That's fine. Yeah, so he'll get the ingredient and the mute. That's fine. That's fine. So Indigo's got a mute in the queue, and so does Chris Shepard. Chris was trying to get someone else to get a mute so he could team up and just have Ryan talk. I wasn't going to tell Ryan that, but yes, they are scheming, and I feel like in this third segment we might have Ryan just carry for an entire minute, which I'm terrified of.
I'm not interested in doing that. I'll draw something on my head instead.
Nope. This is what we agreed upon. See, CJ, you probably owed one too, right? Why isn't this? Oh yeah, you're definitely you've donated 350 so far. Sure, you've got a mute too. There you go. See, Uncle Indigo's just saying we do not get enough Ryan. That's all he's saying.
No. Right now, if I get a full minute, I hope you know that. No, I'm not even going to tell you.
I already feel like I have several ideas of what you might do with it.
It's gonna be good.
Lazy Dumper, $80 is the donation threshold that you have to hit to get a mute. Exclamation point donate if you want to donate, by the way. We are still raising money for the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Not only can you get certain things like you see right below there, but every $20 you donate goes into a raffle for amazing prizes, including Lions signed football. Like this, Penei Sewell, the Lions right tackle, rookie, right there. Jamal Williams signed football right there. Over
Mr.
there,
Weave
where
himself.
You can see TJ Hawkinson signed football. Lions Vikings tickets for December 5th, I want to say. What else is in there?
It's a Hawkinson jersey, by the way.
Did I say that? I didn't say that.
You said signed football.
What?
You said signed football.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a Hawkinson jersey. Sorry, and it's not signed, unless you want me to sign it.
Fire up chips.
Fire up chips.
Vert chips. We are still in uninterrupted football, right? Like we were getting Tuesday college football and Maction this week as well.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
I know it was true last week. I think it's true this week.
What size for the Hawks? I think it's a large. I feel like that's what we agreed upon. Is that right, Ryan?
Say that again.
Hawkinson jersey size?
Large. Yep.
Yes, we are getting Maction on Tuesday and Wednesday, including the Toledo and Bowling Green game. Fuck
this
Bowling
game
Green.
started at 8:15. Okay.
Trying to get your Monday night bet in.
Trying to get your money back.
All right. I already got the bet in.
Don't interrupt.
Steelers by
Ryan.
how much? You taking the Steelers in the points? Or the
No.
Oh. Taking
No,
Bears.
I am yeah. So this is
What is it? 7.5 or something? Whatever.
it is 7.5. Well no, it's
Look at
moved down to
Jeremy.
I'm
It's
mad
moved
that
down
I
to-
did that.
It's moved down to 7 now.
Oh, don't get that.
But I have pulled a page out of Jeremy's book, and here's what I've done. Chicago Bears plus 10.5 parlayed with Justin Fields props. Over a half touchdown, over 17.5 passing completions, and over 187.5 yards.
Is the touchdown of any variety?
It has to be a passing touchdown.
Can I share I'm going to
bet 20 to win 112.
Can I share a fantasy quest decision I'm trying to make that relates to this? Because I have Patrick Mahomes as my only quarterback rostered right now. And I'm thinking about going and signing Justin Fields, like putting Justin Fields on my bench right now, only because week 12 is the bye for the Chiefs, and that'd be Fields playing the Detroit Lions.
Jeremy's dying right now.
I don't know if it's the question or the onion or a mixture of the two.
It's the onion. It's the onion.
Or maybe
oh God,
maybe the Sharpie is just seeping into my brain at this point.
Chris C. Shepard, I've been locked out of my own house for 2 hours now because I don't have a key to my deadbolt. My wife is inside sleeping.
Oh no! Well, at least you get to mute someone in our third segment. That's the upside.
Well, we can keep you company.
True. Hopefully, you don't run out of battery. Honestly, if I put hot sauce on the onion next time, I feel like I would have a better experience. Even if it was
at least have them.
Shit.
Yeah, it'd be a dish at that point.
Yeah. Oh. I don't like raw onions either, by the way. Like, I feel like that needs to be out there. Grilled onions are delicious. Raw onions,
caramelizers,
keep them off my conies.
I don't mind raw red onions.
McDonald's burger.
Raw red onions.
Who decided
are fine.
Raw onions deserve to be on a regular McDonald's burger?
I decided that.
It was you?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Did you see the Wendy's commercial? I've noticed these Wendy's commercials are like targeted at Ryan at this point.
Yeah, right. The only thing I think of when I hear the Wendy's
like
guaranteed
you get a guarantee hot fresh fries.
Wow, I get a guarantee that my food is warm. What a novel idea. You deserve what you pay for when you order fries through the drive.
Listen, you know what? I pay you have to pay something like $3.50 for fries at McDonald's out here in California. So I'm turning into Ryan in that regard. If I'm paying $3 for French fries and they're soggy, fuck that.
Yeah, they're just those like limp potato noodles.
I don't mind it if there's a little bit of limpness to it. I like pause. I don't. But yeah, there's ways to still have bad fries.
There is. Can I ask you, both of you, as resident and former resident Cali boys?
Yeah.
In-N-Out fries. Are they anything special?
No. The thing is like the reason why people like getting them animal style is because by themselves they're not great. But I would say if you're going to In-N-Out, I'm not big on fries to begin with, so that's not like a plus or minus for me. I just get the burger and a milkshake and I skip the fries. I know some people like getting animal style on them, but I'm not a big fan of their fries.
They are very potato-y in the flavor. They're not like thick or anything. They're pretty standard.
They're not warm either. They're not like every time I've gotten them, they've not really been that hot.
I think like health nuts like the fries because they don't taste like a certain oil or anything. They're just, they're literally just like biting into a warm potato.
Have to get, but there's the thing is, I don't think the animal style really changes them. I'd rather use the extra money to get animal style on my burger. Because then I get double cheese on the burger and I get caramelized onions.
Yeah, caramelized onions are the way to go. I had an incredible burger the other day where I did pepper jack and jalapeno and grilled mushroom and grilled onions. And it was,
To be clear, you don't mean the brand Incredible Burger. You just mean it was incredible.
It was incredible from the Springfield Inn on Dixie Highway. They should also.
So it was an actual burger. It wasn't bullshit vegan stuff that tastes bad.
Ooh, wow.
I've actually never had one.
The anti-Cali boy arrives.
Yeah.
The overcorrection.
Impossible is trash. I'm going to say that. Like, it's not even like good for you on a health basis.
I like black bean burgers.
Yeah, no, but I think here's the thing, because this is true of me with tofu as well. Because I know I like tofu. Yeah. I like tofu, but I never take my tofu like dressed up to be like a meat replacement. I'll eat it as tofu. If you're not going to eat meat, then don't eat it as the meat. Don't try to like trick yourself into eating fake fucking meat.
By the way, Dan Pask showing that he is a true American now. He wants the 3x3 from In-N-Out and the Neapolitan shake, which is
I'll do double, but 3x3
3x3 is a hefty burger.
It's a feast.
But Neapolitan shake is that's both of those are technically secret menu options.
The only thing I'll do is like a burger replacement is like a portobello. Like a portobello burger is very good. But again, I'm eating that because I like mushrooms, and because it's going to taste like a mushroom.
Yeah, you're not eating that because you're like, I'm going to eat meat. Wink, wink. Manifest.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you going to make a third segment?
Maybe. I don't know. Thankfully, it's starting to look like I'm not going to have to carry it. You are.
Just people are loading up. People are loading up these mutes. They're loading them into the chamber. They're coming after me and Jeremy with all they've got.
I don't want to tell you guys what I have planned, but if I do it, Jeremy's gonna be so mad.
That's the whole point, though, right?
Hold on. Let me get one guess. Let me get two guesses in here.
Don't tell him if he's right. I don't
want to be talking about all elite.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Are you gonna be talking about all elite?
No. Something bad, something not good.
All right. No.
I'm gonna venture that it's not Travis Scott.
Oh God, no. God. Unbelievable. All right.
I'm gonna like go get Taco Bell as soon as this is over. That's how much I hate my mouth right now.
I'm drinking enough so I can order like sushi on Postmates.
Yeah. If I trusted any sushi places around me, that'd be a good idea. I don't though. All right,
just go to Kengo, Forehead.
That's actually not as far away as it normally would be because I kind of live close
to Toledo.
But not close.
Surprised he hasn't tried to extend that place up to Detroit.
Chicken finger pitas, maybe.
Chicken finger pita. Taco Bell, talk about not being real meat.
Yeah, there's probably some good Ann Arbor spots. I should check that out, but I don't think they deliver to where I'm at. Not close enough. All right.
Yeah, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's get into it.
Where's my stopwatch? My phone. Welcome back to the Pride of Detroit PODcast. We're wrapping up here with, we want to call these awards, but at the same time, I think we've agreed there's not really a lot of award-worthy behavior happening right now. So, and we've beaten to death the word superlative, Jeremy, who is still suffering from the onion an hour after. How's that going down?
It's not great. It's both the stomach and the everlasting taste of an onion in your mouth. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Apple cider, man. Apple cider. Ryan, let's start with the superlatives. So I'll start with you while Jeremy is digesting. We've got a whole list here, so I guess we'll start with this. And there's not a lot on this, but favorite moment from the season so far.
I'm gonna say the first quarter of the Los Angeles Rams game. I don't think that there's any point in the season where I had so much just like fun watching the game because my expectations were so low to begin with that everything that transpired in that first quarter, from the early onside kick to the, Jack Fox throwing a pass, like everything about that first quarter was like, okay, this is like why I believe in Dan Campbell. Like, this is why I think Dan Campbell is going to be the guy that helps the Lions get over the hump, because he's willing to go out there and try to win a football game that he has no business winning, and doing it by whatever means necessary and available to him. So that's going to be my pick for favorite moment of the season so far.
My favorite moment was probably 3rd and 13 against the Baltimore Ravens with 35 seconds left, because Romeo Okwara chased Lamar Jackson out of bounds for another sack, the second of the drive, setting up an impossible 4th and 19 that there's no chance, given how well this defense was playing, that the Ravens would convert. And so the Lions had just beaten the Baltimore Ravens 17-16, and I don't think I felt better about this season since that moment, because damn it, like, they were playing some ballin' ass football in that game, and offensively too. Like, the drive that they had right before that, where they just went to Khalif Raymond a bunch of times and set up some creative ways to get him the ball, and our good friend Ryan Santoso kicks a big field goal to put him ahead. I was feeling pretty damn good, not only about the Lions' future, but I was feeling kind of good about the Lions this season, being like, hey, when I said this Lions team was going to win 4 games, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right. In that moment, I thought I was on top of the world. It was a great moment that didn't last very long.
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral, yes, that's the key word. I'm going to go away from these ephemerals, and I'm going to say it was watching Penei Sewell bully Nick Bosa. I just want to make sure I've got the right Bosa. It is Nick Bosa with the Niners. Okay, just making sure. You first meet me in first names. Bullying Nick Bosa for that entire Niners game, back when the season was still young and we were kind of brushing off one loss to what we thought was a good team in the San Francisco 49ers. And Sewell, no Decker, back to left tackle, everyone panicking, pancakes Bosa all day long.
Sewell stepping up to Aaron Donald is also one of the top moments.
Yeah, that's fan.
Like,
that
there as well.
That got spicy too. He got in Donald's face real good. All right. Next one up. This should be a fun one. Dan Campbellisms. Favorite Dan Campbellisms that you have seen so far this year.
You got one, Ryan?
I don't know if it's so much of a Dan Campbellism as it is just kind of like a soundbite. And I think this one really grew legs after hearing it, just because I love seeing every moron who decided to try and actually drink the coffee order that Dan Campbell said.
I was going to use the coffee order too. I know The Athletic has made it like their punishment, apparently, on one of their podcasts or one of their shows. I think it was like lukewarm bets or something, where it's like if they fail, they have to drink the Dan Campbell coffee order.
I just love the two venti black and these couple of shots in them, like the sound effects made it like the best part. And it was like it was such a genuine, like, just him kind of being very kind of like himself in front of the media and everything. Yeah. And it was early enough, like it was, that's like early August too, right? Like that's, before the preseason really kicks off and everything, and everything is still kind of like, head up in the clouds. So that's yeah.
All right. I think mine is when he called himself an asshole after he cut Don Milbach on his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I wasn't like hugely upset, but I thought it was a pretty dumb move and something that was easily avoidable. And him just kind of being like, yeah, that was a stupid move. I'm an idiot. I'm an asshole. Like, all right. We're fine now. We're cool now. And then of course, like, they end up hiring him to be part of the staff anyway. So it's obviously really cool. But yeah, I thought that was one of the, that was the first time like he had been presented with a mistake that he had, made, by at least in some people's eyes. And I thought his response is really cool. And honestly, I think he's done a really good job pretty much every time, just kind of owning every mistake that he's made. The fact that he owned the Eagles, and maybe that's the Dan Campbellism, is like truthfully owning mistakes and not just like the coach talk, like, that's on me, I need to coach players better. It's him saying at the end of the Eagles game, I messed up the end of that first half. My time management was terrible. I screwed up. I hate, like, he literally said, I hate how I played that. And so that to me is something that you really never hear from. Like, how many coaches will tell you right after a game that they messed up something specific, like time management. Pretty much every guy is going to be like, no, this is the reason why I did this. This is the reason why I did this. I don't care what the numbers say. Like, no, he's just like, I messed up. And of course you'd rather him not mess up, but I like the fact that he owns up to mistakes in very human ways.
It was early enough in the season, and I feel like I was going to go with coffee. I will give that one to Ryan because he got it in quick there. Besides that, the racing helmet, it just made everyone so mad. It made some people just irrationally, just psychotically mad. Like listening to people like Joy Taylor going like, I feel bad for Lions fans when that's showing up. Like, who cares?
You don't feel bad for Lions fans. You want to feel good about yourself by making smug.
Yeah.
Next superlative.
Mine's short. I don't like the racing helmet's what it is. We've got emojis for it made on twitch.tv/Pride of Detroit and on the Discord. This one too. Oh, the eyes. Yeah, the eyes. Smile. All right. Most Lionsy moment. I guess this can mean whatever it means. I know Jeremy wrote this down. I'm not going to let him try to explain it. Just Lionsy moment. That is your prompt. Go.
You like me to go first?
Please.
You're up first in these rotations.
Set a precedent here.
Okay. All right. We set a precedent. I suppose I'll go first. So the most Lionsy moment was a moment that former Pride of Detroit staff member Mansour pointed out on Halloween when the games of the Rams and Texans synced up with the game of the Eagles versus the Lions, and the Lions were trailing 31-0 and the Rams were winning 31-0. And then within minutes, it was 38-0. Literally the most painful Lionsy moment ever. Maybe ever.
It's pretty bad. I think I have to take the easy one here, and it's not just the fact that you lost on a record-breaking field goal. It's not just the fact that you gave up a 4th and 17. It's the fact that happened at home, and it's the fact that ball bounced off the motherfucking crossbar and shot out of a cannon into the netting behind it. That does not happen to other teams. That is pure, unadulterated Loins football. Loins football. That is unbelievable, and it can only happen to this team, and it's an unbelievable moment. And I swear to God, if this team goes 0-17 and I have to watch that kick 10,000 times every time a team goes 0-8 for the rest of time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I think for me, the Lionsy moment, I'm going to turn my eye towards the media environment around the Lionsy. Not you, Jeremy, but maybe you. I don't know. The amount of people who lost their minds when they did cut Donville back. I don't know another place that would be that. And just other small, tiny things like that. Like, it's a long snapper. Like, I get that he was a long time one here, but the way I saw some people talking about Dan Campbell's character after that point was kind of between that and I'm an asshole. There was that moment where it's like everyone's just going nuts about this guy over a very, very I don't even know what the right word is I'm looking for here. It's not that consequential of a move.
It's not that serious.
No, it wasn't that serious.
We do love our special teams here, which is.
But there's other moves like that where it's
why we love Coney dogs. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, there's other moves where I will see something, but I see this all every year. So there's something that happens down the depth chart. It's like, why aren't the Lions going for guy X out there? And it's like, there's a simple answer to that, but people are still going to lose their minds in the process.
Oh, like Odell Beckham.
Does anybody know what free Odell really means?
No. I don't. All right, next superlative. Your worst prediction.
Ugh.
We had some predictions. Do you mind if I take first on this, Ryan? Because mine's fresh in my head.
Sure, go ahead.
That I would give Jared Goff until Thanksgiving before I decided I would write an opinion about him.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened. That I didn't hold myself well enough.
Ugh. That one's pretty bad.
Yeah. That was from Ryan. Jeremy is the one who reminded me of that a few weeks ago during a post-game show. That because you and I had done that. That was, what was that podcast, Jeremy? It was
the schedule review podcast. The schedule was just coming out, and you guys were doing some sort of like superlatives type thing of at what point will you have made a decision on whether Jared Goff would be the quarterback for 2022.
I said Thanksgiving. I don't remember what Ryan said.
I don't know, but I don't want to talk about it because it's probably might be bad too. So,
all right. Well, what's your prediction that you're not proud of?
So mine was technically a bet that I made. So that's kind of like a prediction, right? So
sure.
I had a parlay of Jared Goff over 21.5 passing touchdowns, DeAndre Swift over 8.5 rushing touchdowns, and TJ Hawkinson like over 950.5 yards receiving or something like that. DeAndre Swift will never rush for 8 rushing touchdowns in an NFL season. Like, no knock on the guy, but like he's just not. That's not going to happen. Like there isn't enough like random luck that happens in those like goal line or 5-yard line or in situations to ever get DeAndre Swift more than 8 rushing touchdowns in a season.
I mean, he had 8 last year though.
I was a fool. No.
Can we talk about also how you made a bet that Justin Tucker wouldn't miss a field goal all year?
That's not a Lions prediction.
Well, I mean, it happens. He missed a field goal.
Yeah.
And then the next thing happened.
When Caesars put the Lions to go 0-17 at plus 1,000, I put $50 on them. So
we'll
see if that's the worst prediction I make this season.
Let's get some Christmas gifts, folks.
I since we're on the topic of Lions win totals, I think Twitch users know what my worst prediction of the season was, and that was, I think 4 games into the season, I put up a $50 gifted sub bet that the Lions would win at least 4 games in the season, and not feeling great about that one right now. I think they'll still probably win a couple.
Brother, I'm not even feeling good about 3-14 before the season.
No, I'm not either. And listen, like, I don't know. It was probably short-sighted of me, but at the same time, I feel like if things had gone the right way, just a couple little bounces here and there, Lions probably could have gotten to 4 wins, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. What else we got here? Biggest source of optimism for the future, Ryan.
Oh my gosh, this is such a hard question.
Yeah, everything's pretty dark. Everything's pretty dark, and not just because of daylight savings time.
Like, this is an especially tough thing to answer coming off the Eagles game. Because, like, this, if the Eagles game hadn't happened, it would have been so easy to just say Dan Campbell. Right. Dan Campbell's my source of optimism.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that the biggest source of optimism is in Chris's wisdom that he shared. In that games like the Eagles game, they happen to teams. They happen. Like, and you can ball them up and you can throw them away, because aside from that Eagles game, everything else has given me every reason to believe in Dan Campbell and the rest of the coaching staff.
Well, I mean, they did have the Bengals game too.
They did, but I don't know. The Eagles game, oh God, every time I think about it, I think about Jeremy and I think about him going, 46 carries at 5.1 yards per carry.
Yeah, that
you'll never see that in an NFL game ever again.
Shit together real fast. Or this team is going 0-17.
Definitely not my biggest source of optimism.
I think mine still is the coaching staff. I mean, I feel, you know what? Let's go with Aaron Glenn. Let's just point him out specifically.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to bring this up because I know Chris wants to talk about it, but before I get to it, I mean, what he's done with that Lions secondary, and obviously Aubrey Pleasant deserves some credit as well. but I think most of the credit probably goes to Aaron Glenn because obviously that's his former position as well. I mean, I think the defensive game plan has been consistently good every week in and week out. Maybe not so much last week against the Eagles, in which they threw a curveball at the Lions and they clearly weren't ready for it. But for as bad as the offense is doing and maybe below expectations, I would say the defense is either at expectations or above expectations. Probably above expectations if you consider all the injuries, right? The injuries to like 3 or 4 of their best players, and the release of one of their best players as well. So I would say Aaron Glenn is the biggest source of optimism, and let's just hope to God that he isn't poached by someone for a head coaching job this offseason, because I have a lot of faith in him eventually, when he gets the talent, turning that defense into something real. And he buried tape, which I think is fun, and I know Chris hates, so that's why I brought it up.
I should have done this during the scrap. My only thing about the tape is like, you would have thought it was corny as hell if any other team had done it. Like, remember when Jack Del Rio brought in the wood stump and the axe to the Jaguars locker room because he wanted to prove to them chopping wood?
Yeah, it's
like,
cool.
That was, you wouldn't have. Their kicker got injured and had to be cut because of that stupid axe.
Well, no one's gonna get injured digging a hole.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about?
Probably
Dude,
made
Jeremy,
an intern do it anyways.
A guy playing baseball got hurt because he played Guitar Hero.
Yeah, but that's baseball. Like, those guys aren't real athletes. See how it sounds when I say it, when you said it about hockey? See how it sounds?
See, but here's the thing. I don't mind it for certain baseball players just because, like, I look at guys like those with their giant bellies like Pujols and Cabrera out there. You can convince me that.
You cannot watch what Connor McDavid did the other night and not say that hockey players aren't athletic. Anyways, Chris, what's yours?
What was the prompt again?
Reason for optimism.
Optimism. I still think it's some of the young players.
Sure. I
think the Lions had a good draft. I do. Like, I know there's some people, I've seen some differing agreements now. People are saying the rookies are worse than, some past years. I don't see it like that. I see Ellie McNeil balling out. I know we're talking about seeing more out of Levi Onwuzurike. We see the optimism with Derek Barnes. Penei Sewell, you just need to figure out where you're going to put him. And Amon-Ra St. Brown could be more involved with the offense. I thought they drafted fairly well. They're just missing the big key piece, which is the quarterback, and probably some more wide receiver depth and figuring out what you're going to do with the tackles. But I mean, like, I don't think there's like, look, I'm looking at the Raiders right now, where they've wasted so much draft capital and released so many guys for one reason or another, that, like, I'm looking at the Lions. I don't see that problem. It doesn't look like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone becomes the next Tease Tabor or the next Jared Davis. I just don't see that right now.
I think the next 9 games are really going to tell us a lot about a lot of those guys, because they're going to get the opportunities, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, one last one. We are going real late with this podcast. Biggest concern for the future. How much time? Crap. We're in the last 5 minutes of this podcast too. We're just getting to this one.
Yeah, here's my biggest concern for the future. I'll keep it short and sweet. It's that I don't know if this team can establish its offensive identity in this upcoming offseason. Like, I'm really concerned that, like, a lot of the problems that the Lions offense has right now is something that isn't going to go away in an off season. Like, you can't fix it. And again, it comes back to Chris's point. It's the quarterback that has a lot to do with it. But, like, I don't think that this team can be the running team that I think that they really want to be. Like, I don't think they can put that together in a single off season. And that's going to make it really hard to watch Lions football for another season.
Yeah. I mean, quarterback was going to be my answer, and it still is my answer. Because listen, I don't think Jared Goff is the guy. I don't think anyone will argue too much with me on that one. And next year, I mean, the Lions could very well not go with a quarterback in the draft, which means you're kicking that can down to 2023, and now we're talking about starting a rookie quarterback in 2023. So we've kicked the can down this year. We're kicking it down in 2022 because we still got Jared Goff. And then 2023, this team is starting a rookie quarterback. And so now you're talking about this team trying to contend with a rookie quarterback in 2023. You're basically you're punting almost on 3 years and saying 2024, that's the year we'll get it. That's the year we'll contend for the NFC North. It should not take that long. I know this is the most rebuildiest of rebuilds, and I know this roster is just about as bad as you can get. But if we're talking year 4 of Dan Campbell, when this team is targeted to like realistically contend, like that's scary to me. I feel like the way this team got set up, and part of it is their own doing with how they handled the Matthew Stafford trade. They did get Jared Goff and showed a lot of faith in Jared Goff. But also part of it is just unlucky that, it doesn't look like this is a great draft class for quarterbacks. So in the end, like the Lions are just, sorry about Malik Willis, whatever. 9 sacks.
All his fault. All his
fault. It's just
this is what I love about Jeremy. By the way, I know we're late and I haven't even done mine yet. But Jeremy is always about, hey, you got to look past the numbers, you got to look at tape, look at what it does, but that only applies to the Lions. The minute it goes outside the Lions, he becomes box score reader hero. He becomes box score reader hero. He doesn't care about the depth at all. He's just looking on a sheet,
trolling Ryan.
9 sacks.
No,
and he's doing a good job of it.
All I'm saying is that the Lions quarterback situation is scary, and I don't know if it gets fixed in the next 2 years.
Can my concern be Dan Campbell?
Sure.
Can it still be Dan Campbell? Like, we're all riding high on it right now. I don't know how long, like if it's not, if as you say, you go out of the season with no wins or still only 1 win, and it's not like the culture doesn't catch on, then it's going to be a very hard reset again. And it's going to you need to hope that after this year, it continues to pay dividends in that off season, because if it doesn't, then it can sink quite a bit more.
He hasn't lost the locker room yet, but
I know, but I can still be concerned that
absolutely.
At any point it falls off a cliff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, this team goes 0-17. It's even the most motivated guys it's going to be a challenge for them.
Yeah. Look, like Dan Campbell, what he was being accused of coming in here was basically being Ben McAdoo, that he's in over his head. And I don't think that's true. But at the same time, like the way he coaches, once he loses that touch, I don't think that comes back. Like, I don't know. It's going to be hard to just kind of, once you lose the motivation, it's hard to keep it rolling. And that's it. This has been a very long podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
You're looking for me to extend it. No, I'm giving you an out to close out the show.
I know, but I'm deep in beers now. This is my 3rd beer tonight. So
congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, no, thank you. It's been a great accomplishment. Anyway, any final words, guys? Donate.
Don't eat onions.
Don't eat onions. That's a good lesson.
Biting into
what have you learned today?
Yes.
Don't eat onions.
Don't do this. Bad.
Showing an onion on stream.
Go Loins.
Ryan, you want to take us out of here?
We will see you. Be kind.